Tom Brady, he has no timetable for a decision on what's next. After the Buccaneers' NFC wildcard loss to the Cowboys, Brady said he's taking it day by day. The 45-year-old can still be the difference for a team contending for a championship with the right circumstances, believes Canty and Carlin co-host Chris Canty.
Put him in a situation where the supporting cast can accentuate what he does well or carry him to the point where he can be a difference maker. In particular, this aspect of the game, situational football, third downs, 2-minute, red zone. That's the kind of thing that Tom Brady needs to be set up for in order to have success now.
Our Chris Canty on Greene. 3 days after the Chargers' colossal playoff collapse in Jacksonville, the team fired offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi and quarterbacks coach Shane Day. Changes had been anticipated after Saturday's game, one in which LA had just 320 yards and 3 TDs, even though the defense forced 5 turnovers. For now, it appears that head coach Brandon Staley's job is safe.
The new Venture X card from Capital One. Earn 10x miles on hotels and rental cars and 5x miles on flights when you book through Capital One Travel, plus 2x miles on all other purchases. Capital One. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene. That's Greene. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I hesitated for a second because I wasn't really sure I was ready for this today.
It's going to be a rough day.
Yeah. See, what had happened was Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they suck something awful.
Mm-hmm.
And the Dallas Cowboys, you got to give them credit. That was a hell of a game last night. Dak Prescott getting it done on
Monday Night Football.
There you go. I mean, if you're...
Oh, I'm going to let you do your fait accompli, and then I'm going to have just a mess of fun.
You're going to lay into me. You got to be on the cues here.
Just go ahead and hit that button. There we go. Just do this. It's like a Band-Aid, baby, right off.
Oh, welcome into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and, of course, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Take us with you everywhere you go. You can also see us live in the Ingles Studio on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, join us in the chat. As Justin Parton has already put in the YouTube comments, the one time I pulled for Tom Brady and he screwed me yet again.
Well, I guess that means you're on the wrong side of that one.
Yeah, a little bit. That was not the close battle I was expecting from last night's game, and there's just it's time. It's time to blow it up. And it's time for the opening drive here in the Sportsocracy. Go ahead and hit that button there, Flostradamus. The opening drive always brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville. Go to 629 Brevard Road if you're in the market for a new or a certified pre-owned vehicle. Fred Anderson Nissan is the way to go. Mention the Sportsocracy, and they will give you a $250 bonus on top of what your trade-in is already worth. Free money just for mentioning us.
I exchanged my Nissan Frontier fully loaded, which you can now purchase at 629 Brevard Road, for a Rogue, which I forget how nice and malleable those cars are. I was on the way over here like, I can park anywhere. Park in a compact car spot if I want to, because that car It's just that nimble.
Yep, it will turn on a dime. It's got all the bells and whistles, the backup cameras, and all that. I love my 2017
and the 3D
Rogue.
one that I'm not sure how it actually works. I've never figured out where. I think it's it's the birds. It's the cameras on the birds. There's one flying over your car telling you this is where you're at in the spot.
See, that's how connected you're going to be to the world. You're in the same network as the birds. Hashtag birds aren't real.
Bingo.
Dallas Cowboys 31-14 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and it wasn't even that close. It was it really was like watching a dry heave set to music.
So there's really only one way that I can kick off the analysis of this game, and I've prepared my soliloquy all day. How about them Cowboys? I tried to tell you. You would not listen.
Nope.
You put your fingers in your ears. Oh, no, Tom Brady. It's a great goat. Yeah, that goat's dead. That goat's stew. That goat, it slaughtered that goat last Tuesday. Afraid she's starting to turn. How about them Cowboys? I loved every second of it.
I'm sure you did.
If I had written the screenplay of last night, I couldn't have been more accurate.
I loved the first 16 seconds. The first 16 seconds of the game were awesome because the defense came out, got the early 3-and-out, and you went, all right, here we go. Vita Vea's getting pressure up front. It's all good. Then the offense hit the field, and you went, oh, shoot, buddy.
It's got a poo in it.
That's not good.
Oh,
That's
no.
not good, but it's okay. We're going to give the ball back and one more, another defensive stand, and then we'll see if the offense can get going. Defense came out, played great. And then the offense came, and it was just all night long waiting for the offense to do something. And then the defense absolutely fell apart, as you knew they would. I mean, God.
Well, no. You thought this game would be close.
I did. I thought this game was going to be close.
There is no position group where the Tampa, except kicker, because apparently Brett Maher got every bit as domestic lighted as I did last night, and he was hammered.
Yeah.
That's the worst. I haven't seen a kicker that bad in a long time. Other than that, it's all Cowboys.
Yeah.
And they did exactly what I told you they were going to do. There's one thing that Tampa Bay had on their side, and that was they are rather aggressive, especially Devin White, especially Levante David. So what did Dallas do? They knew Todd Bowles is as predictable as the weather in South Beach. 78 and sunny. Hadn't even looked. Google it. I'll bet you I'm right. Because you knew what he was going to do. He was going to break down the tape of the Dallas Cowboys, and he was going to fall for every little piece of window dressing that they threw out there. And I'll tell you exactly when I knew that I was right. On the goal line, Dallas lines up, big, heavy set. Everybody in the stadium is thinking this is going to the running back. I was at the Village Porch. I have a lot of people that can confirm that this came out of my mouth. Mm-hmm. You mark my words, this ball's not going to Ezekiel Elliott. And I knew that, and Dak knew that, and Mike McCarthy knew that. Nobody in Tampa Bay colors had a clue.
No.
And he just strolls right in the end zone, and I went, that's going to be what you see all night long. And it was.
It was. Dak Prescott played unbelievable last night. I mean, I do give a little bit of credit to the Tampa Bay defense and that scheme from Todd Bowles. I mean, soft as Sharman coverage all night long.
That was good. That's fun. Wasn't that fun?
And just every dump off was there. And as you said, Tony Pollard played a big role in the game as well, gashing that defense. I do not know what you're waiting on. What more evidence do you need that Todd Bowles is not a head coach in this league?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a wise man told you that. You guys saying, I watched this.
Mm-hmm.
I watched him tear down the New York Jets with what was a reasonably talented roster, because he is a god-awful coach in this league. I mean, this is not, I can't even be nice about this, because this is the most predictable thing I've ever seen. I told you this the day you hired him.
Mm-hmm.
I know how this guy works. He will bleed you from the inside out, and you'll start seeing it as time goes on. And I told you this when you got in today. I knew when we went to Charlotte and I watched the Carolina Panthers absolutely eviscerate this team. See, because here's the thing. When you're in the stadium, you can see things that you don't see on television. And here's what I saw. I saw Tom Brady every time he came off, went to the sideline. He went and sat by himself with no one anywhere near him. Coach would come over. They'd look at the tablet. Receivers are over here. Running backs are over here. Offensive line's over here. And nobody's talking to each other. And I looked at Eugene Robinson and I said, I don't think I've ever seen a team that so obviously hates each other as this one. And it's bared itself out. It has bared itself out. And maybe I was 3 years too early on this, but I told you, a 45-year-old quarterback that throws over 800 times. You see how stupid that sounds when I say it? It's not that hard to figure out. Mm-hmm. And then you get this Dallas Cowboy team that got punched in the mouth the week before in a game that you probably had. I thought people overrated that.
I did.
Because, look, Dallas knew going in, the chances of the Philadelphia Eagles losing to the Giants are minuscule at best. So whether you went in with the intention of playing the way you did or not, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Psychologically, you know we're probably playing for nothing. And that bared itself out in the effort. When I watched the tape, it was abundantly clear. Mm-hmm. But it was a perfect storm. Because that gave Mike McCarthy the rallying cry of, you're playing against the GOAT, and he could burn you at any time. Well, here's the thing. No, he can't. No, he can't, because he's done like dinner.
He is done. He does not need to play again. And I really don't know. We'll get more into that later on in the program. But I am trying to figure out why the call hasn't been made. And Rob Johnson says, surprise, Leftwich got fired, but not Todd Bowles. It's been reported that Byron Leftwich is getting fired, but it has not been made official. Tampa Bay has made no statements. It has not been put out there by look. You can call me a shill of the league or whatever they call Adam Schefter, but until Adam Schefter says it, it hasn't really happened yet.
Correct.
And there has been nothing. There have been reports all around the league, certain insiders saying that their sources are telling them that he's going to get fired, but it's not been made official yet.
And I feel like he probably does, because somebody's head has to roll after last night. You can't get beat like that.
They all have to. You have to blow this thing up.
And I understand that, but take the journey with me. Who's going to take this job?
I get it. I mean,
you tell me what coach that has options is looking at a roster that's going into next year with Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask. Because I hate to tell you this, Tom Brady ain't coming back.
No.
There is no shot that he plays another down for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, because
if you hear his post-game press conference yesterday, it was obvious. He's thanking the media members for how dedicated they are to their craft and the fans. He might as well have just taken his shirt off and walked away. I'm done.
With Tampa. I don't think that was a overall goodbye. Because he said we're going to take it day to day. And that, to me, says he's still thinking about playing next year. I mean, because, look, he can still get it done. He could still put up stats. And I know that's not going to win you games. But, I mean, you said it. He threw over 800 times this year. Mm-hmm. That's a lot. But he's still out there setting records. He's still finishing top 5 in all the stats. And I guarantee you he feels like he can still do it. In fact, I know he does. This comes down to, are you going to do it one more time? Are you going to lace it up? And there's just part of me that cannot foresee him ending like this. Because if he does, it's going to be remembered.
I mean, is it, though?
Oh,
do you remember the Joe Montana in Kansas City? Is that really?
I'm sure you do if you're a Kansas City fan.
But that's not what he's worried about. This is the greatest fanboy player in the history of this league.
But was it this bad?
It wasn't
the last
this
year
bad.
Of Joe Montana.
No, they made the playoffs and they went in and got beat, and It was very obvious that Joe was past his prime, and it was over.
He didn't have, but he didn't have the losing record. He didn't have the ultimate letdown of being one of the worst playoff teams of all time, and that's what Tom Brady has here. Now he's thinking maybe I can pick it up and I can go somewhere else. I don't know where that place is. I don't know if it's Miami, if Miami wants to bring him in and keep Tua as the backup or what.
Well, it's ironic that you asked that question because after the break, look, I'm a type A. You work with me every day. Is there any fallacy in what I just said?
No.
I can tell you that's what Tom Brady is too, and I can tell you firsthand what I saw, and it is not what you just said.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
90 pounds in 1 year. It can be done. And you ask me how? PhD Weight Loss. Go to myphdweightloss.com today. If you've been struggling your entire life with a weight problem, PhD Weight Loss has the plan to help you reverse the symptoms of type 2 diabetes and sleep apnea, all of that. Jeremy, you've been through that. You had sleep apnea like crazy before PhD.
I did. My heaviness had led to some health problems. And a lot of it was because I just made bad food choices. And that is what I learned from the PhD Weight Loss program, which has gotten me back to my high school weight. The sleep apnea is gone, and it's all thanks to PhD Weight Loss.
I had long struggled and been labeled morbidly obese. Now, I'm not by any means a skinny fit person now, but being 200 pounds is much better than being 300, 350. I was pushing the scales at getting close to 4 bills at one point in my life. Now I know how to live thanks to Dr. Ashley Lucas and the plan at PhD Weight Loss. Go to myphdweightloss.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Is it getting harder to find new customers? After all, it's one thing to run a business and another to grow it, especially these days. But what if you had access to everyone listening to me right now? Access to all the customers in your area. As the #1 audio company in America, iHeartMedia gives you access to all the customers you need to grow at a fraction of the cost of digital, video, and social advertising, with experts ready to craft your message fast. Get started today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
When choosing a wireless provider, you're forced to compromise. But what if you didn't have to? What if you could get reliable service without a contract and save money? Introducing Total by Verizon, a new no-contract, no-credit check carrier for you and your family, with plans starting at just $30 a month on America's most reliable 5G network. Total by Verizon is available at totalbyverizon.com and at retailers nationwide, based on first-place rankings and root metrics first half 2022 5G assessments of 125 metros. Experiences may vary, not an endorsement.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
There was a whole lot of that being said on my couch last night, watching my Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. Just getting demolished by Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, you gotta hand it to Dak. I was mistook. I thought that Week 18 was a sign of where this Dallas Cowboys team was. And I'll give credit to Mike McCarthy, because that's a team that got some good coaching. That's a team that came out this week and went, you know what, last week we just buried it, burned the film, now we're ready to roll. That was a team playing towards their full potential.
That was a team that looked at this and went, we're better than you are.
Mm-hmm.
You can give me Tom Brady all you want. This team is the worst playoff team I've ever seen, and it's not even kind of close.
Mm-hmm. And there was no amount of Tom Brady magic that could make that thing work.
Now, it's no smiles in our YouTube comments said his ego won't let him walk away like this. And that's what you said, too.
Yeah.
Now, let me tell you from somebody that thinks very similarly to Tom Brady, you're not coming back just to come back. And he looked to me last night like a guy, and I've done this. I'm 35 years old. And I was never a Tom Brady level athlete, but I did a lot of athletic things. And there comes a time where you go to do something that you've done for many, many years, and you can't. Mine was playing softball and trying to rope one from right field to the catcher, and I couldn't do it. I still can't do it. It doesn't matter. You can go to every weight room in the world every day. I can't do it. I'm done. And that's what I saw from Tom Brady. I saw a guy that is looking at his arm going, this has worked for me every single time I've done it for 20-plus years. And it ain't happening now. I heard, I don't remember if it was Ian Rappaport, somebody said this earlier today. There is no point in coming back unless you think you can win it. Mm-hmm. And let me make this as perfectly clear as I can. He cannot win it. It's over, drastically over, and should have been over last year. He should have stayed retired.
Agreed.
Now, and you can go down the rabbit hole of all the things it cost him, all that.
Right.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about from a sheer talent standpoint. This is a man that walked into a season with one of the best right tackles in football. Mm-hmm. A decent enough line that had been invested in. I know you didn't have Ryan Jensen. I get it. You had two running backs that they believe in Leonard Fournette, Rachaad White. One of the most expensive receiver rooms in the NFL. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage. Mm-hmm. Threw for the third most yards in the league. 8th most touchdowns in the league. Had a reasonably, only threw 9 interceptions, which is not bad. Mm-hmm. But then you get to the end of the stat line.
So many more turnover-worthy plays, though.
But then you get to the end of the stat line, and you look at where the rubber meets the road to the QBR. Do you know where he finished?
20th.
18th. 18th ain't going to do it for Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady's not coming back to be this guy. And I would argue you were in the best scenario to be Tom Brady that you could be in. I want you to really walk me through this. A guy whose deep ball arm looks completely shot is going to go to the Miami Dolphins with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Do you hear how stupid that sounds? Oh, and Tua Tagovailoa would just be the backup.
Mm-hmm.
What? The guy that you invested your franchise in. You're going to go get a 1-year stopgap that with a better roster than yours got annihilated in the playoffs. That's who you're going to hand your franchise on. As a Jets fan, I hope you do, because I would love 2 more shots at him behind that offensive line. Please, God, do that. Mm-hmm. I want you to.
Mm-hmm.
The Las Vegas Raiders, are you out of your mind? He's going to move all the way across the country away from his kids that he only has half the time now. You're going to go to the furthest spot in America away from them that you possibly could go. To do what? Are you beating the Kansas City Chiefs?
No.
Good Lord, no. Are you beating the LA Chargers?
No.
Good Lord, no. He knows that. He knows that. He can look in a mirror and go, I'm not Tom Brady anymore. You can be the most egotistical person on the planet. You know when you can't do it. And last night, I saw a guy that can't do it. And I don't care what situation you put him in.
He already messed up. He messed up by coming back. And you said you're not talking about all those other things, all the things that he risked. Well, that's a big part of the calculation.
Tom Brady. But that's already done. There's no unwinding that. Now it's, can I physically do this? And the answer's no.
No, I disagree.
You tell me the scenario he can compete for a Super Bowl. I'll give you the floor. You tell me what team he's going to go to that would even, for a 10th of a second, think about this. If you say San Francisco, I'm going to laugh you out of this room.
I know. See, that's the thing. He's got to have the perfect scenario, and that just doesn't exist. those teams that have good offensive lines that could protect a Tom Brady, they don't need Tom Brady. They've got somebody else to already do it.
But I want you to say this out loud. The San Francisco 49ers, who he grew up a fan of, are going to look at Tom Brady and go, we're good with Brock Purdy.
As they should.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. But we don't know that. We don't know that that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, I feel pretty certain that that's what they would do.
LMNO fired.
But if Tom Brady says, I'm in for a Super Bowl run next year, I'm not sure they say no.
Oh, I can tell you, anybody I've talked to in the NFL today, they're all on my side. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. It's over. If it was anybody but Tom Brady, and you're doing exactly what I've heard all day long, you're letting the name cloud what you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
You did it going into the game. Now you're doing it coming out of the game. He did absolutely nothing that would justify doing this again. So now you're going to go through another offseason, another conditioning program, 40,000 pints of avocado ice cream, and you think it's going to get better? No, nobody on the planet does that. And yet, because it's Tom Brady, we just put our fingers in our eyes or stick them in our ears and go, la, 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 he'll be great forever. He's not great at this point.
It would take a desperate team to do it. The problem is you're not winning with a desperate team.
And that's the thing. A desperate team would do it. Would the Raiders do it? Probably. That's in the last year, they've shown you to not be a very bright franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Think of all of the extenuating circumstances there. You think Tom Brady's looking at that going, yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun. Compound a mistake on top of a mistake. The one team that vaguely makes sense is the Tennessee Titans because that roster is pretty good. He knows Mike Vrabel. And even then, I'm going to come back to throw to Traylon Burks and Austin Hooper. Do you see how laughably stupid that sounds when you say it out loud?
Mm-hmm.
You are a replacement-level NFL quarterback with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You think you're going to get drastically better with a second-year receiver?
I just don't know that I don't know that he believes he was the major problem.
Then you think he is the most delusional person on the planet.
And
he's never served to be that. And trust me,
hey, I get it.
I call him the devil. So if I got any shot to take a jab at him, I would do it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not delusional. He knows where this is. And now, did Todd Bowles do him any favors? No. Neither did Byron Leftwich. I can say that same thing about anywhere else he could go. Because any team that would be attractive to Tom Brady's not attractive to them. Right now, Tom is the 6 that, if what you're saying is true, thinks he's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
That's a difficult life. Because you are not what you think you are. You're not Tom Brady. At this point, he is exponentially closer to Jameis Winston than he is to Pat Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, on and on and on and on.
Agreed.
People like this do not sign up to be mediocre. There's no scenario where you're not.
I agree. The past year proves it.
And that means the ride off into the sunset is coming, and I don't think it's going to take all that long.
I don't know if it will or not. I really don't. Because I think you come to that point where, okay, I'm not what I once was. I can't be the guy to get you the wins. Who was it? Somebody was talking. I think it was Marcus Spears was talking on ESPN earlier today. He said he is not the guy that's going to win you games. He
won't lose them for you either.
Right. But he can't do it anymore. He can't be the the guy who does it. Well, I mean, we saw shades of it at the end of games this past season, but those were against terrible teams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, leading the fourth quarter comebacks, it was all well and good. And I tried to tell Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans, don't get so wrapped up in this thing. I thought he'd have one more go. I thought he'd have a little bit of gumption or a little bit of spark for that last playoff game. But it wasn't there.
Absolutely nothing.
He was completely disinterested.
He looked like a spent fighter.
They were
to me, he looked like the heavyweight that's been battered for 9 rounds. Mm-hmm. You're in the 10th. The only shot you have is you connect on one just absolute blind luck haymaker.
Mm-hmm.
and I don't even have the energy to throw it.
He's got scared feet back there. He doesn't trust the offensive line. You can tell that him and the receivers are just not on the same page. It was that way the entire year.
He's also stationary.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tom Brady would lose to me in a foot race right now, and I don't know that it would be all that close.
Mm-hmm.
And in the modern NFL, that just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you're 35 with the cannon and you're the smartest guy on the field. You're not any of those things anymore.
But he's stuck. Maybe I'm not the talent I once was, but I literally gave up everything in my personal life to do this one last time, and this is how it's going to end.
And so what, you're going to compound that again and do it again? Learn a new offense at 46 years old?
I'm going to go to Tennessee. I'm going to hang out with Mike Vrabel and see what happens.
I think you have seen 12 right into the sunset.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
You know, when they launched 2311 Racing, when Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin joined forces to start a NASCAR team, I thought this is going to be fun. They're going to do some things. And I feel like that team continues to grow. The Bubba Wallace continues to get better and better. He's got more and more, top 5, top 10 finishes. It's kind of I saw this past year as a little breakout for him. The Daytona 500, I think, is going to be a little bit more interesting this year with 2311 Racing putting Travis Pastrana out there behind the wheel. Now, he's driven before. He's never driven in the major circuit.
Did he run ARCA or something like that?
Yeah, one of those. It was Xfinities. I mean, he's done a handful of Xfinity. Actually, wow, I didn't realize that he's ran 42 Xfinity races.
I knew he had run.
I didn't know he had ran
those
that
higher
many.
level circuits. He's never run in the big show.
He did run a full season in 2013 in the Xfinity series. Finished 9th was his best finish in a race. But I think this is a cool thing. I always like it when they get these bonus drivers to come in and run the Daytona 500.
Just adds a layer of intrigue. I mean, he's going to qualify 35th if he qualifies at all.
Mm-hmm.
He'll run in the back, and he probably gets involved in some wreck halfway through the race.
He's still got to make the field, but there are 4 open spots in the race, and Jimmy Johnson's going to get one of them. We know that.
Prior champion.
Yeah. So there's 3 really open spots in the Daytona 500. Maybe 2311 Racing can get it done, and we'll see Travis Pastrana out there driving the number 67 Toyota Camry at the Daytona 500 with the Black Rifle Coffee as his sponsor.
It's good coffee.
Good coffee.
It's good coffee.
Good coffee. Hey, Black Rifle, give us a call.
Yeah. Hey, I'll pub your coffee completely. 'Cause I'll be honest with you. Caffeine plus nicotine equals protein. I think John Daly once said that.
Indeed.
One of the biggest questions around LIV Golf. We've talked about this since this little upstart league became a thing.
Yeah, who is LIV and when is she going to show up?
No, that's not the question I'm referring to. The question I'm referring to is, when are you going to get a TV deal? Because this YouTube thing is cute, but it really makes you look substandard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently that's no longer a problem. Bob Herring of Sports Illustrated reports that LIV Golf is in negotiations and set to agree on a multi-year deal with the CW. If you don't know what that network is, I don't blame you. Because that probably means that you don't like old episodes of Full House or 2.5 Men.
I was going to say, do they still play do they still play like Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
That's virtually everything that's on the network. Can you imagine
Party of Five? Is that on there?
Can you know those teasers that they always do on television? Joe Buck is the best at these.
Mm-hmm.
When he was with Fox. Oh, tonight on Bob's Burgers, Bob makes burgers. Let's go. Can you imagine doing that with 2.5 Men? Tonight on the CW, an episode of 2.5 Men from 17 years ago that you've probably only seen 14 times. 2.5 Men, 8 o'clock here on the CW.
Oh, yeah. Hot.
Oh,
I wonder what did that contract cost?
I mean, I can't imagine they have a ton of money.
You went all like John Van Asterpuss on that. A whole ton of money.
I don't know what that means, but I mean, I can't imagine the CW sitting on a $200 million deal.
What do you think, Buffy? We're going to have golf at the CW this year.
It might be how the commentary sounds.
What do you think it's still gonna have David Faraday, so I don't care.
What do you think they got? The royalty fees off Full House? I don't think the cookie jar's full of coins.
The CW is the biggest move the CW has made since they got Animaniacs reruns.
I mean, what was A&E busy? Do they have a first 48 marathon that would preclude you from being on a network that people actually know where it is?
Wow.
Well, we called ABC. They hung up immediately. We called NBC. They got the PGA Tour, so we can't do anything there. CBS, same thing. Fox, same thing. So here's this is where we wanted to be all along. The CW, which used to have didn't it used to have a frog? Didn't the CW have like a little, when it was the WB?
WB.
It's the same network.
Yeah. It did spawn into the CW, didn't it?
Bring back the frog.
Nice.
Maybe put a TCU helmet on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the new 90210 is on the CW.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't rather watch somebody set my car on fire.
Stargirl. It's a superhero.
Nope.
It looks like the female Captain America married with Wonder Woman.
Yep. None of this sounds appealing to me.
Blue Mountain State. There's the TV show of Blue Mountain State.
I don't know what that is.
The football movie.
I have no idea what that is.
You didn't see that. Sleepy Hollow.
Stop. Yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out, like,
David Faraday.
Have you made an actual series in the last few years? And yeah, they're still doing original stuff on the CW.
I can't wait to hear David Faraday teasing tonight on the new 90210. Felicia cheated on Brian. We don't know if he knows, but Dalton and Dewey are really upset about it.
I'm gonna tell you right now,
Skyler
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're never gonna make any money as a David Faraday impersonator.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to impersonate him. I can't do. I mean, look, I can do plenty of voices, but that ain't one of them.
That's not one of them. All right, LIV Golf gonna be on the CW.
Skyler and Kyler and Brian.
You're in the Sportsocracy. You're on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet weather in our forecast and mild temperatures for most of this week across Asheville. The old subtropical jet stream coming all the way from the Pacific into the Carolinas. And looks like wet weather here for the next several days through Thursday. Then we catch a break Friday, Saturday. More rain early next week, Sunday and Monday. 41 degrees with light showers tonight. Mostly cloudy, mild Wednesday, 63. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Hot and Crispy Fries. Wendy's knows everyone hates cold, soggy fries, so they changed theirs to serve them up hot and crispy, guaranteed, using only natural cut skin-on fries prepared to golden goodness and perfectly sprinkled with sea salt. Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and they'll replace them at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Pro Football Hall of Famer and 3-time champion. Trust me, I know about joint pain.
Pro Football's all-time leading rusher Emmitt Smith talks about chronic joint pain and exciting new regenerative treatments from QC Kinetics.
I know what it's like to fight through pain, but now, you and I, we have help. QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in advanced, all-natural regenerative medicine that can give you lasting relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Do you suffer with constant pain from arthritis or injury? Pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or lower back? Don't assume steroids, pain meds, and surgery are your only options. Regenerative, restorative, natural solutions are now available.
Don't let your joint pain keep you from doing the things you love.
Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation and learn how regenerative medicine can repair and restore damaged joint tissue.
Make the call to QC Kinetics. Tell them Emmitt Smith sent you.
Call QC Kinetics, 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517. 828-333-9517.
No one has the same taste as you.
You damn right.
From the music you love to the podcasts you can't live without. And only the iHeartRadio app has it all for free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio. Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
It's ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Dallas Cowboys won their first road playoff game since 1993 last night.
How about them Cowboys?
At the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 31-14, again, the final score, and it was just evident. It was evident after the first 2 series that this is done. This is not going to be close. This is everything Jeremy said it was going to be. And I sat back and, well, I enjoyed as much as I could, the demise of the Super Bowl run that was Tom Brady.
And now I feel like we have to have the conversation, is this why we've called them America's team forever?
What do you mean?
Because they are the one that finally put the final nail in Tom Brady's coffin. and if that doesn't make you America's team, then I don't know what does.
That was foreshadowing of the greatest kind, I guess.
I mean, I finally understand why we've called you that. Because the only thing that we can all be unified in is that we are so unbelievably tired of Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. President accounted for, done with Tom Brady. Let's move on. Sucking ears. Let's roll. But the Dallas Cowboys, now you get the convincing win over Tampa Bay. You put that aside. You're back on track, hopefully. You got Dak Prescott, played the best game of his life against Tampa Bay. 5 total touchdowns. And now the question is, are you a threat to San Francisco? And I think the answer is yes.
I do to a point. Do I think they're going to beat San Francisco? That's a tall ask. You're asking them to go into their own building.
Yeah. I understand. But now I'm thinking that team shows up in San Francisco next week. And, this is the time that Brock Purdy has to prove it. Now, I've been singing his praises since he started, and, of course, for obvious reasons. He's been fantastic. I don't think so. I really don't think Dallas is going to go into San Francisco and win this game. But you've kind of made a statement here. Now the question is, can you pull an upset? Because it's going to take one of pretty large proportions to get it done.
Well, if you're looking at the Vegas line, this would not be a colossal upset.
3.5?
The initial line debuted at 3.5.
Yeah.
I'm looking at where exactly can Dallas get the advantage that they had last night. Because if you send Micah Parsons off the edge, well, that means you have to deal with Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I don't necessarily think that's the best way to do this.
Right.
The way to get pressure against San Francisco is up the middle. And Brock Purdy has shown an ability to just sidestep that and make throws. To me, the most important player in this game is going to be Trayvon Diggs. I need you to shut down whether it's Debo, whether it's Brandon Ayuk, whoever it is, I need you to deal with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to be the shutdown guy. And I think George Kittle probably serves as a very formidable problem. You just got so many weapons with San Francisco. But now I do think this will be a good game.
I agree.
And would it stun me if the Brock Purdy thing falls apart and Dallas catches them? It wouldn't stun me.
No, it wouldn't stun me. But I think San Francisco is the heaviest possible 3.5-point favorite you could be. I mean, because we all feel like this is going to be a great game.
Well, I mean, you also have to remember Vegas does love baiting Cowboy fans.
Sure.
Oh, you got to win against geriatric Tom Brady. Let's go just lay it heavy on the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're going to get the Cowboy fans anyway. Cowboy fans are going to be all in on their team to go pull off the miracle here.
I actually feel like Dallas's path to winning has more to do with San Francisco than it does with them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, the chances of you getting the Dak Prescott you got last night, it's not really high against this defense. I mean, the chances of him going out and putting up he was almost perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see you doing that against San Francisco. And that's what I think you're going to need.
Yeah. After weeks and weeks and weeks of turnover football, Dak Prescott put together a pristine game last night. Did not turn the ball over at all. He was 25 of 33 for 305 yards, and he threw for 4 touchdowns and ran one in as well. If that team shows up against San Francisco, we've got a ball game.
I think you're going to have a ball game regardless. It's just more a question of, A, do you have a kicker that can hit the broadside of a barn? Brett Maher with 4 extra point misses last night.
Right. I think I'd rather have Bill Maher kicking next week.
I'm not sure that you're wrong.
I love the memes going out. Jerry Jones putting out the tweet, if you're in the stadium and you can kick, come on down. We got a jersey for you. Because after he missed the 4th one in a row, I mean, that did give me a little bit of a smile in watching my team just get completely frog stomped.
At what point do you look at it and go, maybe we stop going to that hash? Maybe. But that's where I'm most comfortable. Is it, though? Because it doesn't appear that it is.
I think we need to shake this thing up for you, old Bill.
Maybe there, Brett, we're going to put this one right down the middle and see if you kick one straight. The old angle is not it's not working for you.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there is a lot of momentum now. Now the question is, are you going to capitalize on it, or do you go and fall on your face?
I don't see any path that they fall on their face. I mean, look, I've gone down the rabbit hole with this game, and I just see it 24-21, 27-24, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I can't find a path that San Francisco's not who walks out the winner, short of Brock Purdy. Midnight strikes, the glass slipper falls off, and the carriage turns into a pumpkin. That's the only possible way.
If you told me there is a quarterback in this game, this divisional round game between the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers, there's a quarterback in this game that's going to throw 3 interceptions and kill his team, I'm betting the farm on Dak Prescott. Because that's how much I believe in the San Francisco defense. However, there's also much more likely a path that Dak Prescott comes out and has a decent game, maybe only turns it over once, and they're right in it at the end.
Do you now put Dallas over any of those top 5 teams that we've had all year long?
No.
I don't either.
Because I know this is going to sound, this is coming from me, this is going to sound like just the mealy mouth thing.
Hashtag no homer.
But what did you prove? You proved you could beat a team that 10 other teams have already beaten this year. So, I get the dominating.
That's true to a point, but you absolutely dominated them in the playoffs.
That's what I was getting ready to say. The dominating fashion in which you did it obviously shows that you were able to bounce back from what was a horrible Week 18. And Dak, 8 games. You got to go back 8 games where he had at least a turnover. And some of those games, multiple turnovers. He had 8 in the last 5 games of the season. So, look, I get this is a major bounce back, but you got to show me it's more than just a 1-week blip.
We got to take a break. I'm going to say something after the break that's going to sound absolutely insane, but I mean it to the depths of my soul.
It's the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Hey, this is Peter Schrager from the NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football. You've also seen me on NFL Sidelines and in studio for Fox Sports on Sunday. Well, I've got a new podcast with iHeart in the NFL, and we're calling it The Season with Peter Schrager. In each episode of this season, I'm going to empty my proverbial notebook and take you inside and behind the scenes on the conversations that happen at the highest levels of NFL franchises. Listen to The Season with Peter Schrager on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now a message from Puffs Plus Lotion Tissues. Ordinary tissues can leave you with a red nose, so choose Puffs Plus Lotion for all of your blows. Puffs have lotion to soothe sensitive skin, so you can wipe without wincing. It's a win-win. Puffs have cushiony thickness, which brings relief too, so the days of sore red noses are gone and through. When you're after soothing softness, a nose in need deserves Puffs indeed.
Wendy's knows cold and soggy fries are the worst.
So soggy.
That's why we're serving up hot and crispy fries all day, every day.
And all night until close.
With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection.
Show me that potato skin.
Wendy's hot and crispy aren't like other fries. We're your dream fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and crispy fries.
Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and we'll replace them.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Okay, boys and girls, it's time for another sweeping declaration from Flostradamus Jeremy Greene.
I love how you made fun of my voice, and you just turned into the original Wink Martindale.
Indeed.
There are two paths for the Dallas Cowboys, and this is going to sound crazy when I say it. They're either going to lose to the San Francisco 49ers, or they're going to go to the Super Bowl. There is no in between.
Interesting. So
take the journey with me.
Okay.
Short of Brock Purdy just absolutely incinerating, Dak's going to have to be the same quarterback he was last night.
Agreed.
If he does that 2 times in a row, you come in to whether it's the Giants or whether it's the Eagles. If it's the Giants, you're playing at home, and I got news for you. They're not beating the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas.
No, not a chance.
If you've seen that twice from Dak, you go in with, in my opinion, the better coach. I don't buy Nick Sirianni, and I never have.
Mm-hmm.
You would be going in with the better quarterback. Over the last 2 games, if Dak beats the San Francisco 49ers and did what he did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he'd be the hottest quarterback in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure they can beat him. I'm not sure either one of them could beat him.
Really?
Now, you get into the Super Bowl, and this could be you remember what they did to the Bills that one time? It could be that in reverse. The Bills could be taking 30 years' worth of revenge in the Super Bowl.
I don't know. I don't know that I see that the same way.
They don't match up with Buffalo well at all. But see, to me, they
Dallas
do match
could
up
create
well.
a lot of turnovers, though, and that's the one thing that the Buffalo Bills have been good at.
They do match up well with Philadelphia. And maybe it's just I haven't seen them, or maybe it's how the season ended with Jalen Hurts being out of the lineup. There is something about Philadelphia that is just bothering me. In the next hour, we're going to power rank the remaining teams left, the 8 teams left in our 2022 NFL playoffs. And I'm going to be honest with you, Dallas is really close to Philadelphia at this point to me.
Okay.
They're both significantly behind San Francisco, but they're close to each other.
Sure. It's not too spicy to think about. I mean, granted, when you go through all of the teams and the teams that are left, they got to be right next to each other. You got all of your contenders, and I feel like we've all pretty much been on Philadelphia's at the bottom of that list in the top 5 contenders at the moment. And Dallas would be the next. They would be the next team. I don't know.
At full strength, Philadelphia is still really daunting.
Absolutely.
They also beat up on one of the worst schedules I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the Giants are going to be a cakewalk. But and maybe I'm reading too much into this Cowboy thing. Maybe I'm doing the same thing you did. I'm beholden to the most recent thing I've seen.
But here's the thing. They proved it now. They proved it. Dak Prescott proved he can have that flawless game.
Now the question is, how do you respond to that?
Exactly.
Do you keep the chip on your shoulder that you obviously came in with?
Mm-hmm.
Because you get the first 2 drives, you were a little tight.
Because
there on, this was not a football game.
No.
This looked like an XFL team against an NFL team.
Now, granted, next week you have to face an actual legitimate defense, not just one that shows up in the top of stats.
And that's why I said that the way I did. If you beat that defense is better than Philadelphia's.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
It also could be one of those things of you were so gassed after having to win that game that I don't know if you can beat Philadelphia.
See, and I don't see it that way. I think if you come in, you come in off beating the NFC favorite, you come in with your hair on fire, and now you're in an NFC championship game against your most bitter rival, which, by the way, avoid Philadelphia at all costs if that happens, because it will be an unpleasant place to be unless you're wearing green and white.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday, so coming up after Sports Center, we're going to power rank the 8 teams left in the NFL playoffs.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet weather in our forecast and mild temperatures for most of this week across Asheville. The old subtropical jet stream coming all the way from the Pacific into the Carolinas. And looks like wet weather here for the next several days through Thursday. Then we catch a break Friday, Saturday. More rain early next week, Sunday and Monday. 41 degrees with light showers tonight. Mostly cloudy, mild Wednesday, 63. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Today on Hey Culligan, smooth skin and soft hair comes from where? Here's Mike.
Hey Culligan, I've tried every conditioner, lotion, and body wash known to man, and my skin still feels like sandpaper.
It could be your water, Mike.
Oh, That's harsh.
More like hard water. Are you interested in smart, high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
Huh?
Want baby smooth skin and soft, luxurious hair?
Yeah, can you hurry? I have a date tonight.
We're already on the way, Mike. Let us help you out with the free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips, whatever you need. There's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Rachel Bonnetta here, host of the Benched with Bonnetta podcast, and now the NFL Game Day View podcast. Join me, Cynthia Freeland, Greg Rosenthal, and Patrick Claybon as we break down the week of games. We're going to give you our predictions on things such as how many points will be scored in each game, who is going to win, and how they will do it. Listen to new episodes of the NFL Game Day View podcast every Friday on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Deciding what's next for him. Following the Buccaneers' NFC wildcard loss to the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, Brady told reporters there's no timetable for a decision on his future. He can't be franchise tagged and will become an unrestricted free agent unless the Bucs are able to re-sign him. Brady does have enough in the tank to come back for a 24th NFL season, believes ESPN's Herm Edwards.
He still has enough arm talent to play. But the surrounding pieces around him are going to have to be really good for him to have success, right? Because that's where he's at in his career. Absolutely. He's 45 years old. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's the best quarterback ever played the position. There's no doubt about that.
Herm Edwards on First Take. As expected, changes made by the Chargers. Offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi and quarterbacks coach Shane Day were fired. The fallout a couple of days after the Chargers coughed up a 27-point lead in Saturday night's AFC wildcard loss in Jacksonville. In addition, LA's offense consistently underperformed this past season, especially in the running game and red zone, even though they had quarterback Justin Herbert.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time your car breaks down, don't call it quits. Head to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bonus. That's bonus. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, and we're seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. You can also become a member of the House of Reprehensibles, which is our little fan group here. $2.99 a month. It's a very meager fee just to show your support for what we do here. You get the little beer mug next to your name, and you can super chat and all those things as we will highlight the best comments here on the program. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday. And after the wild card round has been wrapped up, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been just shuffled off the mortal coil into the abyss of the next decade.
It is, I will say, I feel like last night, and you can tell me if I got this right, I feel like, as a Bucs fan, you had to watch last night almost like you were being sentenced to, 10 years and it's just going to be a dark abyss of sadness.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. But you know what we call that? It's Buccaneers football, baby.
That's about right.
Look, I was talking to my dad earlier today. You know, he raised me to be a Bucs fan, and we live and die by our team. And we still do. We've been through some very, very rough years. But I had almost forgotten what this felt like. It was only 3 years ago.
It's just a sinking pit of sadness.
I mean, it's all too familiar. It's like a warm blanket of,
This is
right with
embrace
the
it.
world again.
And you know what day I can't wait for? On April the 27th, when Roger Goodell steps to the podium and says, with the 19th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Anthony Richardson. Oh, it's just so good. I can't wait to hear it because I know it's coming. I know it's coming.
No.
I know it's coming.
Yeah, we're going to have two Florida quarterbacks to try to pass on to the next generation. Good Lord.
And I know it's coming.
Look, I've had enough, okay? I've had enough of Florida quarterbacks. I wasn't even around to see the Steve Spurrier days, and I don't care.
Well,
let's not do this again, okay?
Oh, it's going to happen. And I can't wait.
Gross. Absolutely gross. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I've been thinking. If Todd Bowles survives this,
he will.
He made a statement earlier today talking to the media that he has not made any decisions on Byron Leftwich's future. So all those sources, the reporting that you heard that Byron Leftwich has been fired or is going to be fired imminently, not true, according to Todd
Does that mean
Bowles.
those are JV programs that no one's ever heard of? In the words of South Carolina head coach Shane Beamer?
What do you mean?
He said that about another program.
Oh, okay.
Not us.
He said he's going to meet later on this week with everybody and reassess and see what's going on. I implore Jason Light and the ownership to just stop this now. Don't let him do any exit interviews or whatever. Just cut it loose, start over, burn it to the ground, and let's go get Drake May next year. Let's get Drake May in the draft, and let's just move on. That's your next quarterback. I can hope, okay? That's all I have left.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Exactly. All right, it is a Power Rankings Tuesday, and so 8 teams left. The divisional round will begin on Saturday, and as we do, you got to start from the bottom in the Power Rankings of the divisional round, number 8.
We're like Drake, started from the bottom, now we're here. Number 8 is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Really? Well, that's surprising to me.
Why?
Because they're
you
not
were
my
down
8.
27-0.
Mm-hmm.
And look, there's not really a dog left. Is there a team you would be just stunned if they won this weekend?
Stunned?
I don't have one.
Yes.
There's not one that I would
There
be
is
stunned.
one, and it's the team you just mentioned.
Jacksonville?
But I still don't feel like they're the worst team left in these playoffs.
I do, because if I had to pick a team that would stun me if they won, it would stun me if Waffle House patron Trevor Lawrence beat Pat Mahomes.
Waffle House patron?
Have you not seen this story?
No.
After the game, he and Riley Patterson, the kicker, went to Waffle House.
Oh.
And I'll be honest with you, that's why I put them at 8. If you go to a Waffle House sober, I am questioning your judgment. I've been to a Waffle House probably 100 times. Average domestic lights it took me to get through the door, 17.5.
Nice.
Because I'm reasonably sure that's not food, but it's delicious.
It is delicious. It's absolutely delicious. And
Yeah,
I need no alcohols to go to the Waffle House.
I do. I ordered it one time through Uber Eats and got it after no domestic lights.
Well, you don't do that.
And I looked at it and went, is this food? Do you season it with anything?
Nah, dog. You don't do it that way. You cannot get takeout from the Waffle House. If you learn one thing from me in my broadcasting career, it should be never eat cold Waffle House food.
It wasn't cold. It was in their little containers.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like, you got to get it right off the grill before any of the grease has a chance to solidify around the thing that you're getting ready to eat.
This is a place that makes 2 eggs with 8 Kraft singles, okay? This is not food. And that's not a judgment of your food. It's, okay, you are what you are. You're not IHOP. IHOP, it's good no matter when you go there.
Waffle House is better. It's not close.
And you know, if there was ever anything that explained the dichotomy between the two of us, it would be that. I am an IHOP guy and Tank is a Waffle House guy.
Waffle House, waffles, period, far superior to the pancake.
I don't agree.
Far superior.
I don't agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you could be wrong. It's fine.
That feels like a poll question.
That's fine.
That feels like a poll question.
The waffle is better than the pancake 800 times out of 800.
But you can put all the fruit and the good stuff on a pancake. You can't really put that on a waffle.
Are you kidding me? There are vessels for the stuff.
But that's just for syrup.
No, it's not.
I've never put a different thing on a waffle. I've had a chocolate chip waffle. I've had a regular waffle with syrup. That's it.
Well, you're doing it wrong, man. You're just flat out doing it wrong. I mean, the pancake, I mean, sure, it's going to soak up the syrup, but there's not there. I mean, waffles give you the little cups to hold the goodness. Drown it in butter and put whatever you want to on it. Fresh fruit, whipped cream, all the syrups, all the jellies. It doesn't matter. Waffles far superior to pancakes. And it just does.
To me, it's the same thing.
Yeah. It is, but it's not.
There's something I want to say right here, and I can't, and so we should move past this.
All right. So anyway, I don't even know how we got. Oh, Trevor Lawrence, Waffle
Lawrence
House guy,
Waffle House.
whatever. So I mean, look, what else are you going to do in Jacksonville? Of course you have to go to Waffle House to celebrate. There's nothing else to do.
When I told Amy this, I did say he did the most Jacksonville thing humanly possible.
Absolutely.
Her first 7 guesses, 4 of them I can't say on the show. One of them had something to do with blood relatives, but okay, don't do that.
All right, so the Jacksonville Jaguars, they are 8 to you because they got so far behind.
Because
to the Chargers?
Because they don't buy the defense. I feel like the Chargers really gift wrap this for you. Now, your offense had to do it, and I think the offense is very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I go back to when Jacksonville played Kansas City earlier in the season. They didn't look like they belonged to the same field. And I don't really see a path that it's not going to go exactly the same way. Kansas City beat them 27-17. Trevor Lawrence was good, which I think he will be again.
Mm-hmm.
But Patrick Mahomes just absolutely surgically picked them apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a funny feeling that that's exactly how this is going to go again.
Yeah. But head-to-head, you would take the New York Giants over the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I think Saquon Barkley just ate them alive.
See, I wouldn't go down
and that's
that path.
not a shot at Jacksonville. Jacksonville got their win.
Look, to me, 7 and 8 are very close. Because please tell me, please tell me New York is your 7.
Number 7 is the New York Football Giants.
All right. I mean, look, I barely have Jacksonville at 7. New York is my 8. And I think it all just comes back to quarterback. And this is not the age, here comes another guy dissing Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was incredible last week. He gave me reason to believe that you might be able to pull off the upset against the Philadelphia Eagles.
And that's how I differentiated the two.
And that's fine. But to me, it's I don't know. To me, it's a different set of circumstances because you got you got the uber healthy, well, not uber healthy, but you have the healthy Patrick Mahomes led Kansas City Chiefs, coached by Andy Reid, versus the Nick Sirianni-led Jalen Hurts bum shoulder Philadelphia Eagles. You see the difference there. Like, one is ripe for the picking. The other one is dead set on making their 5th straight AFC championship game. I feel like Jacksonville's the better team than New York, but they have way less of a shot to win this week.
I would say Jacksonville's roster is more talented. There's something about this Giants team that I can't write you off because you shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at that roster.
It's the attitude. It's the culture. I get it.
It's not even close. And yet I still have some weird blind faith in the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Which I never in a million years thought I would be saying going into this year.
Yeah.
I thought by this time we'd be talking about, what quarterback are the Giants going to wind up with? No, sir. No, sir, we're not. They're the weirdest team I think I've ever seen. They're like the bad news bears of the NFL.
Yeah.
And yet you can't count them out.
But you know who that reminds me of? The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the wild card days, like the Troy Polamalu, they weren't the best team all around on the stat sheet. They weren't out there dominating people. And then, granted, there are some major differences between this, because I do not think that, I don't think the defenses are equivalent to each other. But I'm saying the aura around this team is pretty much the same to me. Will I be completely shocked if New York is able to go from wild card to Super Bowl? 100%. But to NFC Championship game, it won't shock me all that much.
It won't shock me either. This is just an old school punch you in the mouth team.
Yes.
And you've got Daniel Jones that is.
I think that's how you have to beat Philadelphia.
I do too.
Punch them in the mouth. You got to be more physical than they are. They can be, and that's going to be tough.
Well, you have to be able to get A.J. Brown off his spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Adoree Jackson can do that.
I mean, he did it to Justin Jefferson.
He did.
Can he
now,
cause
here's the
such
thing.
problems?
A.J. Brown does not have such a problem with press. He kind of relishes it because he is a big boy and he is a dog.
Yes, indeed.
That is, to me, that may be the most interesting matchup of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Or do they just hide him on Devontae Smith? That's what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can make little thin-framed Devontae Smith completely irrelevant by pressing him.
Yeah. West Virginia Willie in the YouTube comments says, Tank, go ahead and jump on the G-Man bandwagon while you still can.
You don't want him. You do not want him.
Yeah, you don't want me to do that.
Tank is like a pyro. He shows up on your bandwagon, and the next thing you know, it's sitting on the side of the road with a wheel that fell off, and it's on fire for some reason.
KOD. The Tank Spencer kiss of death is real. You don't want me jumping on the G-Man.
Did you see what he did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last night?
It's all my fault.
Brutal.
I screwed it up.
Brutal.
Sorry, Tom Brady. It will go down in history as Tank Spencer jinxed the end of Tom Brady's
The only
career.
thing I wish is that we had gone double or nothing on our existing bet, because I've already told you what the bet would be, and there is nothing more that I would have wanted to see today than Tank coming in dressed up as a cowboy with a shirt that says free hugs, headed to downtown Asheville.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and it's ESPN Asheville. Continue the Divisional Round Power Rankings up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Merriman Avenue and Montford Avenue. Light delays 26 westbound between Long Shoals Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway north and southbound approaching Sand Hill Road. A few light delays. Patton Avenue, a few light delays north and southbound near New Leicester Highway. Hendersonville Road moving well. Sweeten Creek Road, no delays. Checking the drive time from downtown Asheville to Asheville Regional Airport via 240 westbound and 26 eastbound. Drive time 18 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You might not have the biggest garage on the block, but with eBay Motors, there's 122 million parts right at your fingertips, whatever you need. There's something that fits your vehicle. Air filters, tires, seat covers, and more. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Wendy's knows cold and soggy fries are the worst.
So soggy.
That's why we're serving up hot and crispy fries all day, every day.
And all night. Until close.
With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection.
Show me that potato skin.
Wendy's hot and crispy aren't like other fries. We're your dream fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and crispy fries.
Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and we'll replace them.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs. You used to associate crickets with silence. But since you bought a house in the suburbs, you know crickets hate silence. If any other creature realized rubbing its legs together made a piercing, high-pitched noise, they might think, maybe I won't do that. Constantly. All night long. Luckily, you can save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto. Now that's something to make noise about. Just not constantly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided in service by affiliates and third-party insurers.
Wendy's knows cold and soggy fries are the worst.
So soggy.
That's why we're serving up hot and crispy fries all day, every day.
And all night. Until close.
With natural cut potatoes, sea salted to perfection.
Show me that potato skin.
Wendy's hot and crispy aren't like other fries. We're your dream fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's hot and crispy fries.
Guaranteed to be hot and crispy. If yours aren't, bring them back and we'll replace them.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Hear us everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Thanks for everybody tuning in on the YouTube stream. And you can go now and you can vote in the poll. I mean, it's getting late early for pancakes.
Look.
T's and P's to the pancake.
Ascendo said, I can make waffle sandwiches. I can't make a pancake sandwich. That's exactly what a McGriddle is. A McGriddle is a pancake sandwich. Which, by the way, is the right way to eat a pancake. 2 pancakes, sausage, egg, cheese in the middle, and
yes, you can make pancake sandwiches, so that is factually incorrect. Matthew Hoffman, though, says ice cream goes on waffles, not on pancakes.
I hate ice cream.
Which is
I
weird.
hate ice cream.
It's absolutely weird. Also, pancakes and waffles? I mean, chicken and pancakes? No, chicken and waffles.
Well, chicken and waffles is wonderful.
Chicken and waffles is awesome.
Chicken and waffles is
it's like one of the greatest crossover events in food history.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And Nathaniel McQuirt says waffle is better than a pancake, and it's not even close. I absolutely agree with him on that.
I just the IHOP commercial that it talks about their $6 breakfast with your pancakes with the fruit on top and the eggs and it's delicious.
I can get the same thing for $4 at Waffle House, only it comes with these little cups that I can just hold all that yummy.
And here's the difference: getting it from a Waffle House, it might have a still burning cigarette in it.
I mean, it could. But that's only if you go to the good Waffle Houses. That's how you know it's good. If you get a side of ash with your hash browns, I went Northwestern or Midwestern there. Hash browns.
You went full Minnesota Viking fan right there.
Good Lord.
Good golly, what are we doing?
83%. Let's see. Let me kick it. Yeah, 83-17. The Waffles trouncing the pancakes right now. I think we can go ahead and call this one. Throw in the towel. Stop the damn match. It's over.
I believe there is a pancake comeback coming.
Waffles killed the pancakes in that discussion. We are in the midst of the power rankings for the divisional round of the playoffs. 8 teams left. We've given you the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. Jeremy's got he's got the Jags as the 8. New York is the 7. I got it flipped, but it's very, very close. Now, number 6.
This was the hardest one for me because I really wanted to bump this team up, and I just can't do it. The Dallas Cowboys.
100%. That's where I have them as well.
There is a team that I think is incredibly vulnerable that I wanted to put below them, and I couldn't do it. Look, Dallas was very impressive last night.
Yes.
And that Dak Prescott can win a Super Bowl.
Yes.
If the only problem is that I've seen that in a big game like that exactly one time. So I've seen it, and now I've seen you do it, and I know it's a thing you can do. What happens this week?
especially when you have to play an actual defense.
Yeah, not Todd Bowles, who that defense gets fooled because we've run this formation 27 times, and we've run out of it every single time. Wonder why you would do that. That's called setting up your plays, and you save it for the playoffs, and there goes Dak Prescott just walking in the end zone. That, smart coach.
Do you expect Fred Warner and Talanoa
Drake Greenlaw
and all these great players for the San Francisco 49ers to look like that Tampa Bay defense?
No.
You're sadly mistaken.
No, the key for Dallas is you're going to have to get CeeDee Lamb going early and often. And based off what I saw from Charvarius Ward last week, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No. The secondary's always been their weakness. But still,
that was kind of validating because
that
was kind of validating because I've routinely said they don't have a corner that can shut down an elite receiver. And every time I do that, there will be a 49er fan says, "But we got Ward." DK Metcalf called end of message, repeat the line, just forever. He's good. Right. But I do think CeeDee Lamb is going to have a good week this week.
All the shifting that the Dallas Cowboys did last night in the on the offensive line, playing Tyler Smith at guard and then putting Jason Peters out there at left tackle and then having to switch it when Peters had to come out of the game and all. That's
a very large offensive line.
Yeah, it is, and you got one major hole in the middle of it. And maybe it's just Tyler Biotish is just terrified of Vita Vea. Maybe that's it. Isn't that how you say it?
It's how you're told to say it.
Yes.
But it's spelled Biadaz.
Biadaz.
Which on this here program, we pronounce it the way you spell it.
I mean, that guy, every time he's faced against Vita Vea, he just doesn't know where he's going. Actually, he does know where he's going. He's going backwards into the quarterback. Yeah, I just look at the San Francisco defense and go, that's going to be a completely different challenge for the Dallas Cowboys. But they are so close to the number 5 team for me that it's almost a coin flip.
And I have a funny feeling we don't have the same 5th team.
Really? Who's your 5?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep, that wasn't it. That was not it.
Look, I've said this until it's a broken record. Jonah Williams is a guard. Please, for the love of God, draft a left tackle this year.
Well, he's hurt.
Well, he's week to week, so he may play, but I don't think he'll be 100%. And you're telling me you're going to come into this game with the Buffalo Bills with 3 backup offensive linemen. This team at full health could be a Super Bowl winner. I called my shot last week with the Dallas Cowboys against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just want you to remember that I said this. I see a path that Buffalo blows Cincinnati off the field. I saw too much weakness against a Baltimore team that, look, what was the biggest knock on them all year? Can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
They lived in the backfield. Jackson Carman, he held up okay.
I was going to say relatively well.
Well, that was with a running back checking out of the backfield. I hate to break this to you. When you have to score with the Buffalo Bills, that's not going to be a long-term viable way of doing this. You can't have 3 receivers out en route against the Buffalo Bills. You have to be able to score. And look, this is not a shot at them. And this happens every single year. Somebody gets hurt in the playoffs, and it completely dashes your chances to hoist a Lombardi trophy. I am really afraid that just happened to Cincinnati. Jonah Williams is not a good left tackle. He's the best one on that team, and it's not close. And look, I evaluated Jackson Carman too, and I can't emphasize this enough. Gregory Rousseau will eat him for lunch. And it'll be back to what we saw last year. Joe Burrow just on his back constantly. And that scares me. And that's one of the things when you do power rankings like this, at this point, you have to factor in who they're playing. And I know that you just completely abandoned the Buffalo Bills, which, by the way, is why I'm so on them. Tank selling out on the team makes me feel really good.
I haven't completely abandoned them.
No, you
They're
did.
Still a good team.
Yeah.
I just doubt that they're going to be able to win a Super Bowl.
I don't.
I know you don't. You stuck with it. That was your call at the beginning of the season, and you're going to stick with it. And that's great. They're just not the favorite to me anymore.
We'll have to see if they are for me.
Yeah. So there you have it. Number 6, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
Number 5,
the
Cincinnati Bengals.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. All right, Jeremy, you ready to get weird?
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, so I'm just going to piggyback on your just a bit outside story here because weird news today. The CW still exists.
It's a
Back
thing.
to you, Jeremy.
Oh, that's
it. That's all I got.
The CW exists. All right. Good thing I pulled the story. Mine comes from the great state of Michigan. A man proved that sometimes it pays off to be very forgetful. I have developed a little bit of a forgetful problem. And by that, I mean I will only remember what you said to me until you walk away from me, and it will be completely out of my head. Well, this guy did the exact same thing. It does not identify his name, but he is a man from Montcalm County. And he, as you do, plays the lottery every single week. And he's not like me where he just says, I want a Powerball ticket. He's got those special 5 numbers that are going to pay off for him one day. And every week, he gets a ticket for the Fantasy 5 drawing.
Except.
Well, a couple weeks ago, he went to a gas station, and he couldn't remember if he bought a ticket or not. And so he bought his stereotypical ticket that has his numbers on it.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. He had already done that 2 days before and completely forgot. So when the drawing happened and he realized, those are my numbers, I have won, he went to the lottery website and he assumed that both of his tickets would be for $55,000 because the grand prize is $110,000.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently in the Michigan lottery, they don't split the jackpot. So he won $210,000 jackpots. So his forgetfulness did indeed pay off.
That's incredible. Good for him. I thought this story was going down the path of he forgot to play his numbers and they hit.
And they hit, yeah. That's how it would work for me.
Absolutely.
I'm not a lottery guy. Oh, and by the way, this would be a great time for me to, since you didn't have a weird story.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my second weird story. If you're one of those people that buys lottery tickets and you go to the gas station to do it, get them all at one time. Just don't sit there and order this like you're ordering at a deli. I want a 14 and a 19 and a 4. And how many are left in that 7? Oh, there's more than like 10. It looks like it's at the end of the row. Get out of my way.
Oh, the scratchers. Yeah, the scratchers are.
Oh, because trust me, if you're one of those people, the people behind you are plotting what the closest thing they could hit you with is. And it might be a Twix bar. And I might have done that one time because I got tired of it. Little Twix bar right off the shoulder. Did you just throw a candy bar at me? I did.
Top half of the Divisional Round power rankings are next. Stick with us here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet weather in our forecast and mild temperatures for most of this week across Asheville. The old subtropical jet stream coming all the way from the Pacific into the Carolinas. And looks like wet weather here for the next several days through Thursday. Then we catch a break Friday, Saturday. More rain early next week, Sunday and Monday. 41 degrees with light showers tonight. Mostly cloudy, mild Wednesday, 63. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Merriman Avenue and Montford Avenue. Smoky Park Highway, no problems. Patton Avenue moving well. New Leicester Highway, no delays. Hendersonville Road, no backup. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Charlotte Highway, no delays. Checking the drive time from Bent Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound, drive time 9 minutes. I'm Lee Benfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in 2 bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
I never write reviews, but Navage is so amazing, I had to leave one. Nothing's ever cleared out my sinuses as well. I'm blown away by how Navage works. That's a review from Carrie, and it's one of over 100,000 online testimonials praising Navage. I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I've talked about flushing out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs. How Navage's powered suction can help you breathe better, and how your nose is the body's air filter, and Navage will clean it out. But don't take my word for it. What do people like Chad say, who wrote, Navage has helped clear out my nasal passages every single night. My wife says my snoring has gone way down. Snorefest be gone, unquote. Navage is the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million customers to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. We'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Divisional round power rankings. We started with the Jacksonville Jaguars at 8, New York Giants at 7, Dallas Cowboys at 6, and Jeremy gave us the Cincinnati Bengals as his 5th ranked team. Going into this next round of the playoffs, we're at the top half of the power rankings. And on the YouTube stream, things are not, things are getting a little better for pancakes. 79% to 21%. The waffle, as I said, far superior to the pancake. Get your votes in now.
The hot cake slander is, it's just dumbfounding to me.
Power rankings continue. Number 4 for the divisional round.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
All right, the Philadelphia Eagles were my 5. Look, to me, it's all about the quarterback. Quarterback's banged up. Look, I've seen Joe Burrow already get to a Super Bowl behind an offensive line that's Swiss cheese. Jalen Hurts, on the other hand, thinking there's a lot more in me that says he needs to be 100% healthy to get his team on to the next round.
I mean, and let's be honest, he didn't look good against the Giants.
No.
In a game that they had to win to get the one. I just have some reservations. At this point, you've gotten this far, which you had the week off, you got the 1 seed. They could come out and smoke the Giants. And then I feel like you have to reassess where they're at. Mm-hmm. I'm going off the last thing that I saw, which was Jalen Hurts was pretty mediocre against basically the JV of the New York Giants. Now you get them again, and I feel like they've got a lot of momentum, and I'm not going to be shocked if they beat you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not. And I go back to the same thing I said going into the Buccaneer game this week. I go back to the last time I saw Jalen Hurts in the playoffs, and he was an absolute disaster. You're going to have to show it to me.
Sure.
I get how good he was this year. I'm well aware of that.
But
you played the worst schedule I've ever seen.
But this has been a year of growth for Jalen Hurts, and I don't expect to see the same kind of deer in the headlights quarterback that we saw in the playoffs last year. I just feel like you've taken that step. There's been the MVP talk, all of that. There is momentum here, but the problem is you ain't played in a month. And so all the momentum you would have had has kind of grinded to a halt, and now there are serious questions about, are you 100%? And without 100% Jalen Hurts or even a 85% Jalen Hurts, I don't know that you can get it done against the NFL's equivalent of a Cinderella team.
The thing that makes me nervous with Philadelphia, do you know how many playoff teams they've beaten all year?
2?
3. And one of those 3 was the New York Giants, who, yes, you beat them twice.
Mm-hmm.
But you also beat the JV team the second time. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in the same year.
Yes.
And that's empirical evidence says that it just doesn't happen. I think it's happened 17 times ever.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at that and go, yeah, Philadelphia has been really good at beating the sin out of bad teams. Well, there's no bad teams left. And look, Jacksonville was the 8 here. That team's still really good. And, I mean, you played them. That's one of the teams you beat, too. And you struggled aggressively well before they made the turn midway through the year. Philadelphia just has, and I know this is not college football, I'm well aware of that, but they have the weakest resume of every contender left. And so until I see you do it, I'm going to have some reservations.
I would agree with that. The Philadelphia Eagles, like I said, they were my 5. Cincinnati Bengals were my 4. Seen Joe Burrow play without a great offensive line before, and I think, look, I will not be shocked. Will you be shocked if this week we get to Thursday and we find out, all these guys are going to play? La'el Collins will be back. He's week to week, right?
I would be stunned if La'el Collins played.
Alex Kappa, he was borderline to play this past week. He should be back, hopefully.
And if that's the case, then that would improve how I feel about Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I would also immediately ask, how healthy are you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're 70% and we're trotting you out there against what Buffalo throws in a front 4, even without Von Miller, good luck. T's and P's, because you're going to need it.
Right. Number 3.
The Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay. I'm with you. Kansas City's my 3 as well.
The defense scares me.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of a true number 1 outside of Travis Kelce scares me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot of variable pieces here. Look, they're the 1 seed in the AFC. I don't like that you are not going to catch let's say you play the Buffalo Bills. It's not going to be at home.
Nope.
I do. By the way, I do love that the NFL said, hey, start selling tickets to that Atlanta game because we have absolutely zero faith that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
Not really sure that's how that went, but
it's one of those. That's not how you said it, but that's how I heard it.
Nah, you got to go ahead and get the money flowing there, and then if the game doesn't happen, then you just refund all the tickets.
Yeah.
But you got to start selling tickets now.
Yeah, I don't think you do.
You can't do it in a week.
You'd sell that out in 45 minutes.
You
know
so?
it as well as I do.
Okay.
How quick did tickets sell for the Buffalo Bills in Detroit for a game that Detroit wasn't in? Yep, they'd be fine.
Right.
When the NFL comes through and says, you just go ahead and start selling tickets, that's because they're sitting around going, this is probably how this is going to go.
Didn't they also move people in that game, though? Didn't I see that they were moving people from the top down to the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
They didn't fill that stadium by any stretch.
Of course they didn't. You seriously are trying to tell me that they won't fill out Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
Oh, it's going to.
That's the easiest stadium in America to get to via airline travel. That will sell out in 14 minutes.
100%.
If they put those tickets up for sale at 8 o'clock Monday morning, it would be sold out by 8:12.
Fair enough. The Kansas City Chiefs, to me, they're the one team that I'm not going to be, I don't feel like it's going to take a whole lot to get you to the Super Bowl. I mean, I get beating the Buffalo Bills is going to be a big deal because Kansas City's my 3. Guess who's not? Guess who's in the top 2? It's the Buffalo Bills. So, I mean, I understand that Kansas City just I don't think it really made that big of a difference. We all talked about at the beginning of the season, like losing Tyreek Hill. What did that matter to this team? Not a whole lot. Travis Kelce is a god among men.
He's fantastic.
And if you made me bet my house on it, I would take Kansas City to make it to the Super Bowl.
I would not. I have this, and look, you can call me a conspiracy theorist. Call me whatever you want to. I feel like there are bigger things at work with the Buffalo Bills, A.
Mm-hmm.
B, I cannot get past the idea that Kansas City plays a heads-up AFC championship game, whether it's with the Bengals or the Bills, and either Mecole Hardman or Marquez Valdez-Scantling drop a wide-open touchdown that keeps Kansas City out.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought that for weeks. Every time I watch that team. Man, you've had a lot of things go your way. But, man, that's two guys that I have seen them drop passes that make absolutely no sense so many times. And I feel like if you count on them in a big scenario, that's probably how that's going to go.
Problem is, in a big scenario, I'm not counting on them. You're going to have to. I have the league's best security blanket.
Okay, you wind up in the same situation they wound up with the Buffalo Bills last year. You get the ball with a minute to go, and you've got to go 60 yards. Do you really think they're going to leave Travis Kelce single high? No, sir. He'll be like I was talking about Courtney Cox and Friends, where all three of them are hugging her with a hand over her mouth, like, you're not throwing it to him. You throw it to anybody else. I'll give you anybody else you want. It's not going to be him.
It's the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. We'll take a quick break, then we'll talk about the top two in the Divisional Round power rankings next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Smoky Park Highway moving problem-free. Patton Avenue, no incidents. New Leicester Highway, delay-free. Hendersonville Road, no backup. Sweeten Creek Road moving well. Long Shoals Road, no delays. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road, incident-free. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell has $2 grilled chicken burritos that come in two bold flavors, Chipotle Ranch and Salsa Verde. They're bursting with grilled chicken and delicious sauces. Get your $2 grilled chicken burrito at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Shop limited time deals at the Truckload event at Lowe's, happening now. Save big on your favorites across the store. During this event, get up to 50% off select tools and accessories. Plus, find the perfect floor tile for your home for less. Get up to 50% off select styles while you can. Head to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the Truckload event today. Valid 12/29 through 1/25 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowes.com for details. Discount taken at time of purchase.
I've always gotten tons of UTIs. Cranberry products never worked for me, and I was desperate for a way to be proactive. I'm Jenna Ryan, CEO and founder of Eucora. We've worked with doctors to develop effective urinary tract health products. Just mix a packet of Eucora with water and drink it when you need support, like right after intimacy. Eucora is helping over 100,000 women stay healthy. Ready to join them? Get 30% off at eucora.com/radio. That's UQORA.com/radio.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
It's ESPN Asheville. The divisional round power rankings continue. We're down to the top 2. At number 2,
the San Francisco 49ers.
No, sir. No, sir. You did that wrong.
It's still Brock Purdy.
You did that wrong.
At the end of the day, it's still Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the Seattle tape.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I saw a lot? Man, if that throw is a tenth of a second later, that's a pick.
But it wasn't.
And I'm aware of that. Against Seattle, there's no more Seattles. The Seattle days are far behind us.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the kid's been fantastic. And to me, he's the quarterback of the future for the San Francisco 49ers. And if you told me they won the Super Bowl, it wouldn't shock me even in the least.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to establish this as who do I have the most faith in right now? And it's not San Francisco.
It's okay. All right, we'll get there in a second.
Well, I mean, think about how many things have to go right for San Francisco.
1. I need one thing to go right.
No. You have 2 of the most injury-prone players in the NFL. Fact or fiction, nobody in this league is more brittle than Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel.
Sure.
If Christian McCaffrey goes away, how differently do you feel about this team?
I mean, I'll feel differently.
I do not have one of those with the other team.
His name's Josh Allen.
Oh, that's the quarterback. There's not a team in the NFL that we're to this point where that you could sustain an injury to the quarterback.
Except for the San Francisco 49ers.
And you would go to what exactly?
I have no idea.
I don't even know who the backup is.
CJ Beathard. I don't know. I don't know who it is.
No, he's in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
and the only reason I know that is because there are a lot of people asking for him to come in that playoff game. Yeah, that's why you don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I get it. I mean, Stephon Diggs goes down for the Buffalo Bills.
I still got Gabriel Davis. I still got Dawson Knox. I still got Cole Beasley that was out there making plays.
Number 1.
Okay, you tell me what team left has a corner that's going to shut him down. I'll wait.
Gabriel Davis?
Yeah. You tell me who's left that's got somebody that would shut him down. Oh, yeah. All those guys are at home.
Darius Slay.
Do you realize how much bigger he is than Darius Slay?
That's fine.
I love that. Oh, by the way, the backup quarterback for the 49ers is Josh Johnson.
Done.
I totally forgot about that.
Done. Super Bowl. Championship.
Yeah, no. That's going to be a no from me, Doug.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But there again, it's late in the season. Everybody's got to worry about injuries.
No doubt.
I've
got one very brittle team.
I'm talking about fully healthy. I need one thing not to go awry with San Francisco.
You need a quarterback that every team in the NFL passed on 5 times.
What do they
to
know?
Outplay.
What do they know?
Yeah.
Every team in the league is looking at Brock Purdy right now going, oh, we missed.
I don't agree with that.
Really?
I think there's a lot of teams going, man, Kyle Shanahan is a brilliant dude.
Everybody that drafted the quarterbacks looking at Brock Purdy going, maybe we should have done that.
Yeah, that's not how I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
you don't think Atlanta would make the switch right now?
Oh, I mean, what with god-awful Desmond Ridder?
You don't think Carolina Panthers, they could make the switch right now?
Oh, yeah. You know what, Carolina? I could give Carolina this lovely energy beverage that I'm consuming right now, and they would, Matt Corral, they go, yep, we boo-boo kidding that real bad.
Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, Malik Willis, who's not an NFL quarterback.
Exactly.
Weird.
That's kind of my point. The only one that exists in that group is the Washington Commanders, who just saw Sam Howell in Week 18 and went, okay, we can do that.
And all
to the point where they're telling offensive coordinators, Sam's the guy.
Look, it is adorable that all of you have just bought into this Brock Purdy thing, hook, line, and sinker. He's been great. I'm just telling you, it would be the least shocking thing I believe I've ever seen in my life if he came out and threw 3 picks against the Dallas Cowboys or did the same thing against the Philadelphia Eagles. You're chalking this up. I just say this out loud. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
One of these things does not belong in this conversation. I'm not telling you he won't get there. This is a kid that started 8 games in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden we've just christened him as he's going to be a Super Bowl MVP. When this poos in your punch bowl, don't be shocked.
He's not going to be a Super Bowl
and it's not
MVP.
that I'm betting against you. It's the best roster in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Name me the last time that you saw a quarterback like Brock Purdy win a Super Bowl. I said the same thing about Geno Smith. Weird. First time he played a high-level defense, it showed in droves. Name me the great defense that Brock Purdy has beaten so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait. I'll give you a hint. There's not one. He came in against the Miami Dolphins. Do you know what their schedule has looked like since then? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are horror awful.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks, who he's now beaten twice. The Commanders, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. I'm just saying. That's a lot of dud defenses, and you are christening this kid as the next Tom Brady. Maybe just pump those brakes a little bit.
That's how
now,
much.
I'm not going to lie. They could win a Super Bowl with him being as mediocre as it possibly gets because that team's that good.
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me I'm going to set that over Buffalo? Okay. I don't believe I'm going to. That's my number one. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
I want to be there. I want the story to be true. But I look at San Francisco and I just feel like they are head and shoulders above everybody else at this point as the most complete team.
And minus Brock Purdy, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he comes out this week and just obliterates the Dallas Cowboys, all right, probably there.
Mm-hmm.
The best defense I've ever seen you beat was the Seattle Seahawks. Maybe calm down on he's Tom Brady, okay?
But to me, it's all the other pieces. You said we're crowning him the Super Bowl MVP. No,
and
the
I got
Super Bowl
that.
MVP is going to be Christian McCaffrey.
And I got that. Buffalo has that too. That's just what everybody seems to be forgetting. These two rosters are very equivalent. You get Brock Purdy, I get Josh Allen. That's advantage me 100 times out of 100.
You don't have a running game like I do, though.
No, I have a short passing game that basically translates to my running game.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a quarterback that's built like a nose tackle that I can just run right down your throat anytime I so choose.
Yes, you do.
Do I run for as many yards as you? No. Ask yourself this. 4th and 1. Who would you rather have running it for you, Christian McCaffrey or Josh Allen? Because for me, it's not close. You will never stop me doing that.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I need you to do.
That short field, absolutely.
That's all I need you to do. I don't need to grind this out. By the way, I do think you're underselling James Cook and Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
they haven't done it.
They're fine.
But that game's coming. I won't be shocked if it's this week against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, they're fine. All right, there you have it. He's on the Buffalo Bills as the number one left in the left in the playoffs. I'm on the San Francisco 49ers, and that's just where we're going to have to stay for now. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Daily Draft is coming up after Sports Center head coaching candidates in the NFL. God, let's get one in Tampa Bay.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet weather in our forecast and mild temperatures for most of this week across Asheville. The old subtropical jet stream coming all the way from the Pacific into the Carolinas. And looks like wet weather here for the next several days through Thursday. Then we catch a break Friday, Saturday. More rain early next week, Sunday and Monday. 41 degrees with light showers tonight. Mostly cloudy, mild Wednesday, 63. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Smoky Park Highway moving problem-free. Patton Avenue, no incidents. New Leicester Highway, delay-free. Hendersonville Road, no backup. Sweeten Creek Road, moving well. Long Shoals Road, no delays. On the Charlotte Highway, no backups. Tunnel Road, incident-free. Checking the drive time from Swannanoa to Asheville via 40 westbound and 240 westbound. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing is committed to quality and printing perfect every time. Now at Staples, get $10 off your document printing and marketing materials order of $50 or more. Offer ends 2/11. See staples.com/store/printing for details. Try Staples and see the difference.
Save now on appliances and more at the Truckload event at Lowe's. Get an additional 10% off all in-store clearance appliances and take home what you buy same day. Shop the Truckload event today. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Valid 1/5 through 2/8.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. What does the future hold for quarterback Tom Brady? He has no timetable for his decision on what's next. After the Buccaneers' NFC wildcard loss to the Cowboys, Brady told reporters he's taking it day by day. The 45-year-old can still be the difference for a team contending for a championship with the right circumstances, believes Canty and Carlin co-host Chris Canty.
Put him in a situation where the supporting cast can accentuate what he does well or carry him to the point where he can be a difference maker. In particular, this aspect of the game, situational football, third downs, 2-minute, red zone. That's the kind of thing that Tom Brady needs to be set up for in order to have success now.
Our Chris Canty on Greene. 3 days after the Chargers' colossal playoff collapse in Jacksonville, the team fired offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi and quarterbacks coach Shane Day. Changes had been anticipated after Saturday's game, one in which LA had only 320 yards and 3 TDs. Even though its defense forced 5 turnovers, it appears that for now, head coach Brandon Staley's job is safe.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Credit. That's credit. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from ESPN Asheville.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It's ESPN Asheville. Mr. Insufferable Jeremy Greene is here.
How about them Cowboys?
As last night's Monday Night Football matchup went exactly as he said it was going to. Embarrassment on the the case of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good night, and I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for that breaking news. I don't want Jeremy to tell me we got breaking news because Fire Todd Bowles is probably the hottest thing on Twitter, or at least sports Twitter, right now. And so that's got us where we're thinking for the daily draft today. Head coaching candidates in the NFL. Several spots still to fill, and who are the best options? We'll get there in just a second. We'll welcome everybody back into the program here on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Watch us on YouTube. Take us with you everywhere you go. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget that not only can you get us on 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 locally in the Asheville area, but you can also take us with you everywhere you go with the iHeart Radio app. Now, daily draft, head coaching candidates, where will we go?
We did this last year, and there were some hits. Brian Daboll.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big miss. Nathaniel Hackett. Yeah, that was our consensus number one last year. Ew.
But because we thought it was a package deal, right? Wasn't that part of it?
That didn't hurt anything. It was mentioned.
Yeah,
yes.
It was Nathaniel Hackett's going somewhere and Aaron Rodgers is going with it.
And that's all well and good, but I'm not sure Aaron Rodgers could have saved that.
Maybe.
That needed holy water and a young priest and an old priest, because that was bad.
Bad. I got the first pick today in the daily draft, and there's only one place to start, and it's Sean Payton.
There's absolutely no doubt that he's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'm all aboard he's the right choice at one here.
Yes.
I'm not sure it's an at all costs.
Well, here's the thing. The Houston Texans completed the interview with Sean Payton today. Somebody asked in the YouTube comments at the beginning of the show, but why? But why would Sean Payton take this job? And that I can't give you an answer to.
Neither can I.
I mean, maybe he wants to come in knowing that they have the opportunity to take the quarterback of his choice in this upcoming draft. I don't know what it would cost you to get up to number one to make sure Chicago doesn't trade Justin Fields and take your guy, but you've got an opportunity there as well. Whether you like Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, one of those guys is going to be available to you. So maybe he would want the job of rebuilding and turning this into his own, because you win there. You win in Houston. That's all on you, right? It's not going to bounce back on Nick Caserio or the quarterback or whoever. That's you.
I think the more likely scenario is that there was a really good pancake place in Houston that he wanted to try.
Sean Payton's a waffle man. He knows.
Waffle, pancake. Every day's like a field trip. Said, where's the French toast option? French toast also great. Because there's no path that he takes the Houston job.
No, there's no shot to that. But I feel like Sean Payton has to be the A1 since day one here in the hiring cycle.
And I don't disagree with you in any way. I'm just not sure that it's at all costs. I mean, if Sean Payton's $25 million, and that's what I keep hearing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. That is a whole lot, and it's hard for me to get there. I'm not saying I wouldn't, just it's hard for me to get there.
Yeah.
My number one choice is going to make me look like a bit of a homer because he is from very close to here. He is somebody that we all know here at iHeart Asheville. It's Ben Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And Carolina Panthers, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you don't do this, you did it wrong.
They've already scheduled the interview. It hasn't happened yet, I don't believe.
I don't think it has either.
I think it was supposed to take place today. But I could be wrong on that. I think I saw earlier where he was scheduled to come in today to interview with the Carolina Panthers for the head coaching job. That would make a whole lot of sense, homegrown guy. It would.
Well, and he's just a very innovative guy. I mean, look, he made Jared Goff a thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Carolina, I'm looking at that going, well, he did that with Jared Goff. I wonder if he could do it with Sam Darnold. The answer is yes.
But he doesn't have those kind of weapons. See, that's the problem to me. Is that,
so you say those kind of weapons. He didn't have Jameson Williams until very late in the year.
I get it.
They traded T.J. Hawkinson halfway through the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was really Amon-Ra St. Brown and D.J. Chark, who he missed some time too. There was a lot of Josh Reynolds involved here.
Well, I got DJ Moore in end of message, repeat the line.
And I could have Quentin Johnston at number 9.
Potentially.
And with those two weapons, all of a sudden I'm looking around going, offense got a little more dynamic, didn't it?
I don't know that I don't know that I want that to be my first job. Although, as a hometown kid, maybe so. Maybe that is how you want it to be.
That's to me, Carolina is one of the most attractive jobs on the market.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm Ben Johnson, it's either Houston or Carolina. Yeah, I'm not going to think about that for long.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Houston. Oh, yeah, there's only one guy they should hire, too, and he's my second choice. D'Amico Ryans. Yeah, it's going to take you a minute because he's not going to be falling out of the playoffs anytime soon. But he's a homegrown talent. He was a Texan. I think – and, look, I'm not always against hiring defensive coaches. It's just historically I'm an offensive guy. With D'Amico, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I see him being a culture setter wherever he goes. Much in the same vein as Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell brought a completely different guy, and I'm not saying they're the same guy. That's not my point.
Right.
D'Amico's just a very high-energy, very player-friendly coach from everything I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's easy to build a staff. That's easy to get players to commit to. It's the only thing to me that the Houston Texans can do because it's the only attractive candidate that to me would even consider taking your job.
And that's because of the internal connection. See,
no doubt.
See, I look at the Houston Texans and go, this screams retread to me.
Like Jim Caldwell?
Jim Caldwell or I don't know. Hugh Jackson, maybe you want to do that again. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not going to be Hugh Jackson.
No, it's not going to be Hugh Jackson. But to me,
then again, I never thought Lovie Smith would get another shot in the NFL either.
Right. But I don't think that's a job that one of these guys is going, yeah, I really want to go there and win. I want to create something here. To me, it would have to be a Sean Payton type who just gets the blank check and goes, I can build this into something. I don't know that I would want this to be my first job. I mean, that's a massive undertaking.
It is. But, I mean, with D'Amico, I feel like he would get a lot of – I mean, this is a 6-year plan. No doubt. He would get every opportunity to turn this around.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't hate D'Amico Ryans coming to the Carolina Panthers. If Ben Johnson said no.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way I'm talking to anybody else.
All right. You may call me crazy for this next one. But ever since I heard his name being thrown out there, getting some interest, namely from the Denver Broncos, I can't get away from David Shaw.
Man, I thought I was going to be able to do that one late.
No. I mean, look, he's a former NFL guy who had great success in the Pac-12 at Stanford. And when I say great success, obviously it wasn't sustained success. I mean, several years they were really good and they were contenders in the Pac-12, but it didn't look good over the last couple of years. Ran up against a lot of you run up against a lot of hurdles that other coaches don't have to deal with when you're involved in a private school with that kind of academic background and requirements and all of that.
And that's the thing. When he resigned at Stanford, he said, it's not that I'm burned out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just time for a new challenge. And I'm with you. If I'm Denver and now Jim Harbaugh has said he's staying at Michigan, I'm not sure that David Shaw wouldn't be my favorite hire you could possibly make.
Mm-hmm. Something about him just intrigues me as a leader of men.
I'm shocked that that's the only job he's interviewed for. Are you?
I am. But I think
felt like when his name appeared in Denver that all of a sudden it would start popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
He's so widely respected around the league.
Now, here's an interesting thing. I think he's one that would take on the challenge of the Houston Texans.
That would be a very close to D'Amico Ryans. for me of who would, if he would do it, which I have a little bit of a doubt that he would.
They haven't even reached out to him, so
that's because they're the Houston Texans.
Well, of course.
They're probably trying to get the special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers.
No.
Rich Bisaccia.
No. Guess who? They're trying to get the running backs coach
Thomas
from
Brown.
the L.A. Rams. Like,
he's well thought of around the
I'm
league,
sure he is, and I'm sure he's a hell of a leader, but come on, man. He couldn't do anything with the running game in L.A. It doesn't really scream to me.
That's a little bit of a biased take.
Sure.
He's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see him be the offensive coordinator of the Rams. Because what was he, the running game coordinator?
Yeah.
I would like to see him become
He was assistant head coach. So he had more of a leadership role in the locker room. But boil it down, his everyday job was the position coach as the running backs coach to a horrible running game. Awesome. And I get there are other things that go into that.
Yeah.
I understand. That's one of those things that's a bad look to me. Like, I don't know, considering to hire Dan Quinn as your head coach, as horribly as that went in Atlanta at the end.
He went to a Super Bowl.
I
feel like I have to say that every time you throw shade at Dan Quinn.
Yay, you went to a Super Bowl and had the worst loss in the history of the Super Bowl.
And you were up 28-3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you collapsed. I get it.
Mm-hmm. And then what happened after they went to the Super Bowl?
No, the team fell apart.
Exactly.
Team was old. Team was not very good. To me, it's revisionist history that Dan Quinn was such a terrible head coach. It was bad at the end. Well, here's the thing. Matt Ryan had Arthur Smith and Frank Reich. He got one of them fired, and the second one jettisoned him out of town the first opportunity he got. Should probably tell you everything you need to know about where his career was by that time.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Oh, look at that!
You're going to do that thing I do.
We got enough time here. We need to take a break. Think about the next pick here. We're in the midst of the daily draft, taking head coaching candidates out there for the open jobs in the NFL.
This is Time Saver Traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slowing between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road moving problem-free. Boulevard Road, no backups on the Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road. Some light delays. Patton Avenue, incident-free. New Leicester Highway, no delays. Checking the drive time from North Asheville to Biltmore Village via Merriman Avenue and Biltmore Avenue. Expect delays. Drive time 19 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs, from quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options. Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. By storing our guns safely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
That's the way I feel when my team wins. And if I want to jump up and down when my team wins, and if I want to hug my players when they do good, I'm going to do it.
Oh, we hadn't heard that one in a while. I had to hit that one. We're in the midst of the daily draft here on ESPN Asheville in the Sportsocracy. Find us at the Sportsocracy on all of the social medias. The daily draft today featuring head coaching candidates. Who's going to get open jobs? Who should be at the top of all of the go-get-em lists? Well, I started the only way you could start with the number one pick. It's Sean Payton. Jeremy went Ben Johnson, pride of AC Reynolds High School, and the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, and then San Francisco defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans as his second choice. And I went David Shaw as my maybe I took him too early, but I just like him. I like him a lot. I think he's a culture setter, and I think he can make a difference for an NFL franchise. He's got NFL experience, no, not as a head coach, but I still think it's experience that would help serve him and put him above some of these first-time coordinators. That's the thing I have a problem with. I don't know if I want to turn my franchise over to Ben Johnson. I like Ben, and he's a great offensive mind and all that. I just don't know how you are as the leader of men. I need you to do both sides of the football, right?
I don't. I need you to bring in a veteran defensive coordinator.
It's pretty important, right? I mean, Todd Bowles can't do that.
Yeah.
He was a good defensive coordinator. Didn't really make a good head coach, though.
No, but you could say that about anybody. You don't know that until you do it.
Sure.
I could say the same thing about DeMeco Ryans. I would wager he's probably not going to be in the offensive meeting room. That's why you hire coordinators, and you get them to hire a vet coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have no qualm with that with Ben Johnson. I have no qualm with that with any of these guys, really.
Okay.
Sean Payton was an offensive coordinator 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You could have said the exact same thing about him when the New Orleans Saints hired him. I think it worked out pretty well. Sure. And I'll be honest with you, at this point, they have virtually the exact same resume.
Who?
Sean Payton and Ben Johnson. When Sean Payton got the job with the Saints, he has virtually the exact same resume that Ben Johnson has right now.
Okay. Still, I've seen a whole lot of coordinators take jobs and be over their skis.
Well, if that's your take, then there shouldn't be a coordinator on your list.
No, not necessarily. What I'm saying is...
So what is the difference?
What?
So what is the difference? You're saying that about Ben Johnson. Why would you... the argument's not making any sense to me.
The argument is David Shaw has more experience in the NFL.
And I'm not arguing that.
Right.
What you said was you don't know what Ben Johnson is as a leader of men. You don't know that about any of these coordinators. So, and so if you've got a list of 5 former head coaches here, then, okay, that holds water to me. If you don't, then it doesn't make any sense.
All I'm saying is the 2 guys that I took at the top 2, they're not first-year offensive coordinator guys.
And my argument...
I'm not saying I wouldn't hire one. I'm just saying I would hire the vets before I would hire a first-year guy.
And say I won't. That's how I wind up with somebody like Sean McVay, or Kyle Shanahan, or I can do this for a minute. I mean, the thing about David Shaw, all right, you want me to cut holes in that? David Shaw hadn't been in the NFL in 20 years.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's also how you end up with Nathaniel Hackett, and you end up with Brandon Staley. And
Who just got
I mean,
to
it
the
can
playoffs.
go both ways, is what I'm saying.
Who just got to the playoffs.
It
can 100% go. I mean, hiring coaches in the NFL is kind of a crapshoot.
But did he get there? Did they get to the playoffs because of him or in spite of him?
Okay. Who's your next pick?
Right. Anyway, next pick in today's daily draft. You have a lot of these first-time coordinators, and you just can't not take. You can't leave them off of your list. What?
That sounded like the exact argument you were just making, but proceed.
No, they're not at the top of the list, but they still have to be on the list. I'm just curious as to who I would trust more. I don't know that I'm in on Shane Steichen or Stecken or however you say his name. But I think if I was going to go that route, I would have to go with Ken Dorsey. Of the first-time potentials, I think I trust him more. Has a longer track record.
He's been a coordinator for a year.
I'm saying as an assistant, as a position coach, he has more of a track record than a Shane Steichen or Mike Kafka or.
I mean, all of these guys have been in the league for quite some time. I mean, Ken Dorsey's been in the NFL as a coach for 5 years. He actually probably has the shortest track record of anybody you could possibly say here. His first year as a coach was 26 years. Did the math wrong. It was 2016. I mean, and I'm not faulting you. That's who I screamed all year long. If it's Carolina, that's probably who I would be chasing. But he does have that reservation that you had about Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Their resumes look identical. He scares me a little bit more now than he has in the past. Well, I'm not seeing Brian Daboll go be as successful as he has been with the Giants with a mediocre quarterback. It's kind of making me question, okay, how much of this was Brian Daboll? Because he seems to be rather bright. So it's not as a reservation. I just want to see Ken Dorsey do it for a little longer.
Okay.
He would probably not have been on my list. I don't think I would have gotten there unless you took a couple guys that I'm not expecting you to.
Really? Okay.
And it's weird because my next pick is a guy that you just said, Mike Kafka. You've learned from Brian Daboll, and you've done just a tremendous job. For me, everything I need to see was Sunday. I watched the masterclass that you and Brian Daboll put together against the Minnesota Vikings. That's enough for me. That's enough for me to say you deserve a shot. Do I think he's going to get it this year? Probably not. If the Giants get beat this week, that I would say increases the likelihood of it. But I just really believe in him, and I always have.
But do you? I don't know. I mean, he has. So he was in Kansas City, right? He was the quarterback's coach in Kansas City.
And I guess that's where I'm at. You learned at the feet of Andy Reid and Brian Daboll.
Sure, but
that's a pretty good.
Yeah, but how much of that is still on those coaches? Like Ken Dorsey's the offensive guy in Buffalo. Sean McDermott does the defense.
But he carried the Brian Daboll system.
Right. But in New York, I've got Brian Daboll still to latch on to. When I was in Kansas City, if I'm Mike Kafka, I had Andy Reid. I had that little security blanket.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the young hotshot, and I think Mike Kafka is going to be a great coach in this league.
And I don't disagree.
I don't necessarily think it's this year. But it will happen sooner than later. The next one's where it gets really hard for me. Because now I feel like a lot of the candidates are the same guy. So I'm going to take a guy that I know personally and I'm really fond of. I can't believe I'm taking another defensive guy, but I am. Aaron Glenn. What you were just talking about being the guy, I just watched a Detroit defense that, let's be really honest, is not all that talented. By the end of the year, it's pretty good. You molded Aiden Hutchinson, who in the beginning of this year he was a completely different player by the end of the year from how he started. And I think Aaron Glenn paired with one of those one of the things I can't get away from is Aaron Glenn and Frank Reich somehow ending up with a team together.
Okay.
Because I don't see how Frank Reich gets a head coaching job after how badly that went with the Colts. I know he's interviewed with the Panthers, and I think somebody else requested him. I don't see how he could possibly get a job this year. But I would love him paired with one of these young defensive coordinators.
Okay. All right. Aaron Glenn. I had not thought about him, but okay.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I just feel like he's been overshadowed in this coaching cycle for some reason. His name's just not coming up for these jobs, and so he's a little off my radar at the moment. See, this is where it gets tough, because I have said time and time again, I don't think I'm going defensive guy if I'm picking a head coach. It's not the way the league really works anymore. Or at least I don't think so.
In this cycle, I feel like two of the best candidates are defensive guys.
Although Rob Saleh is, hell of a coach, if he can figure out the offensive coordinator position, then maybe that'll work. But there's not really any more offensive guys with a lot of experience to lean back on here. I'm going to go Frank Reich.
Ugh.
I mean, we've seen him be effective as a coordinator.
And to me, he was just a terrible head coach.
Yeah.
That offense regressed every single year.
Yeah.
You're the offensive guy. And then as soon as Matt Eberflus left town, who, by the way, you did not pick, that was Josh McDaniels' guy that got kind of forced on you, then the defense regressed.
Yeah, but you played this game of rotating quarterbacks, and I wonder how much of that was Frank Reich saying I have to have this veteran guy, as opposed to the GM saying this is who you're going to get. You're going to get Phillip Rivers. You're going to get Matt Ryan. You're going to get Carson Wentz. No, I mean, I know Carson Wentz was probably Frank's choice, but I don't know, I'm still willing to give him another shot. And then my final pick, I will go with a defensive guy just because, I mean, there is a place for that. And I'm going to Giro Evero from the Denver Broncos. I mean, that's the best part of that team.
He was going to be my last pick.
And he's the only one that I look at and go, at least for Denver, that you're worth saving at this point.
He was going to be my last pick. So I'm going to have to get a little cute. And I'm going to go the longtime veteran that's never had a shot at his own team.
Mm-hmm.
Wink Martindale.
Okay.
That's another guy that I feel like sets a culture. And if you look down the line at how many good offensive minds he's been around in the last, God, he's been in the league 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he could put together quite a staff. Just no Greg Roman. That would be my
no.
If Baltimore fires Greg Roman, you're not allowed to bring him in here.
Yeah, stop that.
We are blocking his number from your office phone. You cannot call him.
Absolutely not.
And you have to get a hat that fits instead of one that just sits on your head like a fez, because that looks goofy. You have an awesome mullet. Either let that breathe or find a hat that fits.
Let it breathe. I like it. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. It's time to get weird. Or excuse me, actually time for the most important message of the day. Which is, Jeremy,
don't do crimes!
Yeah, don't do crimes. Don't do crimes. And this story, well, it's never good when somebody decides to be a stupid criminal. Actually, it's good for police when you decide to be a stupid criminal. But this comes to us from Washington State. Apparently there's an Auburn in Washington, Auburn Police Department, posting out footage of a suspect that attempted to abduct a barista in the early morning hours of yesterday. So it was, before dawn yesterday. this guy was caught on security footage in a drive-through window trying to kidnap a barista. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to commit crimes, it's probably a good idea that you cover up any, I don't know, recognizable features that would stand out easily. This guy has a full forearm or wrist to elbow tattoo of a Chevy car on his arm. I feel like that's a special I mean, that's not that that's something that you could track down pretty easily, right?
I mean, I would assume so.
They put out the APB for the guy with the Chevy tattooed on his forearm, and they're going to catch him. They're going to catch him very, very shortly. Here's the thing. Don't be stupid. Don't do crimes.
My story is it's a crime, but it's an inadvertent crime. It's from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. It's a school. That school's called Henry A. Wise Junior High School.
Can you smoke at this high school?
I don't know. It is in Marlboro. Well, the principal of this school, whose name is Taryn Washington, had to send out an email to all of the parents of the students at the school. And the email was a little lengthy, so I'm not going to read it all. But basically the gist was that a school employee had sent an email that apparently was intended for somebody within this teacher's inner circle because it had some explicit material in it.
Like a bad joke? Or
No, it was some sexually explicit things.
Oh.
And this teacher sent it out, and I don't know if she was trying to send it to Alan or somebody whose name starts with A-L.
Oh, no.
But she sent it to the entire student body.
Oh, it went to all.
All. And they apparently retracted the email, but some students still saw it and were sharing it around. And the principal was saying, please stop doing that. Appropriate, in the words of the principal, appropriate actions have been taken against the employee, which makes me think they are probably no longer an employee.
LMNO fired.
Just, okay, before you hit send, look at who you're sending it to. Why is that so hard?
Yeah. So that autocomplete on your email addresses, you should really check that.
Yeah, and by the way, the tagging everyone on Facebook, you stop doing that. Don't ever do that.
I didn't know
it's
you
a
could
new
do
tag in groups where you can tag everyone in the group, and then you wind up in. Stop doing that. Okay, Facebook, they expect very little of you, but maybe fix that because that's really annoying.
Yeah, that's a one-way ticket to the ignore button for me.
I do love that button.
Yeah, if you're out there tagging everybody, not everybody needs to know. Even if you think you've got the secret to life, I don't want to hear it from you. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet weather in our forecast and mild temperatures for most of this week across Asheville. The old subtropical jet stream coming all the way from the Pacific into the Carolinas. And looks like wet weather here for the next several days through Thursday. Then we catch a break Friday, Saturday. More rain early next week, Sunday and Monday. 41 degrees with light showers tonight. Mostly cloudy, mild Wednesday, 63. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 240 westbound between Chun's Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Smoky Park Highway moving delay free. Patton Avenue no backups. New Leicester Highway no incidents. Hendersonville Road southbound some delays between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Check the drive time from Fairview to Fletcher via Cane Creek Road. Drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lyndon Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Of course, your favorite station is on the free iHeartRadio app. Take us with you anywhere and listen anytime. Plus, get thousands of other stations and playlists all free. Download our free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
Sports leagues are chock full of winners and losers.
Correct.
And I'm happy to call myself a loser because in a year, I've lost more than 90 pounds with the PhD weight loss program. It was last Thanksgiving week that met with Dr. Ashley Lucas. She told us this is the program to see great results. And she was not lying. More than 90 pounds down, I feel like a brand new Tank Spencer.
I did not have 90 pounds to lose, but I had gotten a little chunky. My food decisions had become very lazy, and I was causing some problems. I wasn't sleeping well. My knees hurt. Just over a year on this program, I'm back to my high school weight, sleeping like a baby, and everything's back to hunky-dunky, and it's all thanks to the plan and program of PhD Weight Loss.
It's the easiest program I've ever been on. They give you 80% of the food you need to have success, and you will just be amazed. I am proof positive that it can change your life and help you win that battle with your weight once and for all. Go to myphdweightloss.com. It's myphdweightloss.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumbing a bag of hammers.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We've got, the news I've been waiting on hasn't come yet.
Yeah, you're probably not going to get that.
Yeah. Really, really hoping that we're going to get some Tampa Bay fired coaches news coming up here pretty soon.
Leftwich at best.
Oh, hate it. Hate it so much. Oh, well. Keep Todd Bowles and get Drake May in the draft next year. The Chargers, though, are making a change. And, Jeremy, I feel like you're happy about this because you've never been a fan of Joe Lombardi.
No, not by any stretch of the imagination.
And so Joe Lombardi has been fired as the offensive coordinator of the Los Angeles Chargers. Look, Brandon Staley, for all the heck that we have given him, the strife and the target on his back, he's not in charge of the offense. That's Joe Lombardi's job. And so he has to, if you're not going to give up on Brandon Staley, which it appears they're not going to, Tom Telesco has basically said they're not going to, or hinted at least. Now you got to go find an offensive coordinator who's not going to run the ball 8 times when you're up by 27 points.
That would probably help. That'd probably help. I said yesterday it appeared that the Chargers were going to stick with Brandon Staley for better or worse, whether that was the right call or not. It did basically leak that they were not planning on paying Sean Payton what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is another spot. If I'm the Chargers, I'm going straight to Frank Reich. Been here before, understands the organization, and Brandon Staley. Well, I don't know it. I don't care. I don't care that you don't know him. Probably helps that you don't know him.
But is he the guy to get the most out of Justin Herbert?
He did a pretty good job with Carson Wentz and with Nick Foles. I don't think he's a head coach. I have no opposition to him being a coordinator, and I think this would be a good fit. My fear is that they're going to do the exact same thing over again and find another first-time coordinator that's in the same system, so that it's just a bad idea. And I can't emphasize this enough. I'm here for day 2 of asking the LA Chargers to make sure they find some way to get Bijan Robinson.
But Isaiah Spiller.
I don't care. I repeat what I just said.
Yeah.
I am here for day 2 of Bijan Robinson to the LA Chargers.
Right. It's just one of those things that you look at the Los Angeles Chargers and go, you got all the pieces. You should have all the pieces to win. Your coaching is standing in your way. Brandon Staley, obviously, he's had his problems.
Game management.
But if you're invested,
really brutal.
Yeah, but if you're invested in that, maybe this is the path. Maybe you go out and get an offensive coordinator who has head coaching experience, and that way he can help shepherd Brandon Staley into year 3.
I'll be honest with you. I thought it was stupid when they hired Brandon Staley. You've got this young quarterback that your entire franchise hinges upon, and you hired a defensive guy. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And now here you are. Chargers, to me, you get what you deserve at this point because it's so clear to me that he is not the future of this team.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's about money, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what you could possibly have seen that says, yeah, let's go into next year with that.
Yeah.
And this would be, without a doubt, the most attractive job on the market.
I mean, I guess you can say it was a step forward. We made the playoffs.
Hey, cool, we made the playoffs and gave up the 3rd biggest lead in playoff history. Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yet you don't feel the same way about teams looking at Dan Quinn for a head coach.
Dan Quinn made it to the Super Bowl. There's not many coaches that are available that you can go, hey, he was a head coach in the Super Bowl. Oh, by the way, he's also not the one that called the offense. It's still, to this day, my biggest knock on Kyle Shanahan. You're the one that decided to throw it 500 times in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Dan Quinn had anything to do with that.
Well, that was Joe Lombardi's problem with the 27-point lead against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we saw that all slip away. So, Frank Reich, that's your call?
That's who I would be calling.
Well, I don't know. I don't know which way you go.
It's not another first-time guy for me. I need somebody with some form of head coaching experience. And Cliff Kingsbury just took a one-way flight to Thailand, so it's not going to be him.
He's just hanging out with a girlfriend. He'll come back. He'll come back if somebody calls.
Oh, he's been called, and he said, don't call me, I'll call you
really?
when I'm ready. Yes.
Did he? I had not heard that.
Several teams wanted to interview him to be an offensive coordinator. His response was, I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Interesting. Okay, I had not heard that. Also a hire made today, the Cleveland Browns have a new defensive coordinator, and they're going with Jim Schwartz.
I mean, it's fine.
I
don't think it's a terrible hire. It just – okay.
Yeah.
He's bounced around the NFL. Hadn't he retired like 2 or 3 times?
Nah,
and he just comes
not really
back.
retired. I mean, he stepped away to take a break from coaching. He never retired. He never said, I'm done coaching or anything like that.
I'm not so sure that's true. I'm pretty sure when he left Philadelphia, he said he was retiring. And then he wound up in Tennessee a year later.
Right. He's a special assistant or whatever to Mike Vrabel in Tennessee. Yes, the last time we saw him as as a defensive coordinator, he had one of the best defenses in the league with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
No, I mean, and he has the pieces to do that again.
I agree.
You just have to be smarter than Joe Woods, which is not I'm
Not
going to say is not exactly the highest bar that you have to clear.
Right. There was some flirting there apparently with Brian Flores to come in and be the defensive coordinator, but I like Jim Schwartz. I always have.
I mean, I think it's a good hire.
I didn't even think he was a horrible head coach. He wasn't a good head coach, but he was decent.
He's got the experience, and I feel like that's something Stefanski needs.
Mm-hmm.
That defense really let them down this year.
Yep. But I mean, on. Oh,
and by the way, when your pick comes up, and it's not until the second round because you still got another first rounder going to Houston. Find somebody that plays on the interior of the defensive line that weighs, I don't know, more than 260. That'd be just a great start. And you're going to have to find a replacement for Jadeveon Clowney because I don't believe we'll be doing that again.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400 90 pounds in 1 year. I lost that with the PhD weight loss program. This program has taught me how to live a better life, how to stay away from the things that were feeding that little sugar demon in my head. Over and over and over again, I would go back to the same foods that didn't treat my body like it should. And thanks to the plan at PhD, I dropped more weight than I ever have on any program, and I am not going back.
I did not have 90 pounds to lose, and this is the first program that I've ever tried. However, I had gotten a little chunky, and it was leading to some real sleep apnea issues. My knees were hurting. My back hurt. Year on this program, I'm back to my high school weight, feeling fantastic, sleeping like a baby, and it's all thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
I completely understand what it feels like to be drowning in a weight problem. PhD is the way to buoy your head above water and finally get a handle on that thing you've been fighting your entire life. Go to myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition, the official partner of the Clemson Tigers.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road southbound delays between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road moving incident-free. Airport Road, no backups. Smoky Park Highway moving well. Patton Avenue incident-free. New Leicester Highway, no problems. Check of the drive time from Black Mountain to Old Fort via 40 eastbound. Drive time 12 minutes. I'm Linden Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Hey, drop what you're doing and clear your schedules. I just went to Kohl's biggest clearance event of the season and saved up to 70% on so much cool stuff. Like cute home favorites, jeans for my whole fam, a cozy sweater for myself, a pair of boots for my husband, and more. So don't miss out. Get to Kohl's to save while you still can. You'll thank me later. Select styles, up to 70% off ends January 23rd. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Here's today's Fortnite weather report. iHeartland has been hit by a major blizzard. The snow has turned iHeartland and Fortnite into a winter wonderland with new festive games, including a winter-themed escape room, a holiday obstacle course, ice skating, hidden holiday gifts, and more. Look out for upcoming special events from your favorite artists and podcasters all month, along with scavenger hunts and new How Fan Are You challenges. So embrace the holidays at iHeartland and Fortnite. Head to iHeartRadio.com/iHeartland today.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville, or call them at 828-365-1663.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. A few moments left in the program, and yeah, things didn't go my way on Monday Night Football. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just got completely demolished by the Dallas Cowboys. As Jeremy said it would happen. You know, I expected you to be a little more insufferable than you've been today.
I'll
give you credit for that.
You got enough last night. Your punishment was sitting through 3 hours of that.
Oh, yeah. It was awful.
Plus, it's the Dallas Cowboys, so I can only take so much enjoyment out of it.
It was one of those things, sitting back watching watching what unfolded last night, going, okay, I undersold the Dallas Cowboys. I thought they would come in just as listless as they looked in Week 18, and they did not. They came out with their hair on fire, a solid game plan. They got after Tom Brady, and Tom is cooked, done like dishwater.
It's over. You saw the end of Tom Brady last night. And look, I know over the next 2 months we're going to talk about this ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Tom go? There's only one right answer. The only right answer for Tom Brady is you go home and be done with this. Because like Marcus Spears said on Get Up this morning, he will not win you games anymore. I'm not saying he's going to lose them for you. You were this bad. And you can give me all the stats. Oh, he threw for 350 yards. Watch the games. He was awful. He looked like a statue. I'm not sure right now he could run below a 6 flat 40. He is immobile. And at this point, the arm's letting him down. And you couldn't do it with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. You're telling me you're going to go to Tennessee and do it with Traylon Burks and Austin Hooper? Good luck with that.
And to me, it's not just the arm. It's the head as well. He just doesn't look like he's locked in, and he's not recognizing things. He's not reading defenses like he normally does. He's just –
that could be an element of not believing. It became obvious to me earlier in the year that he didn't believe in Byron Leftwich, and he certainly didn't believe in Todd Bowles. I feel like that is the biggest mistake that Tampa made, is that you brought in a coach, that you had already seen do this before with the New York Jets, but it's who Bruce wanted. Well, Bruce is not here. So this is not Bruce's call. Now, if you'd given the head job to Byron Leftwich, which we argued you should have, would it have been any different? I don't know. He's the one that dialed up 68 pass plays last night to 12 runs. So I don't know.
Well, you were getting smoked.
It was just but you weren't early. I mean, this is a team that, and look, I understand you're a historically bad running team. You just gave up. The next time I see a team that runs 68 pass plays to 12 runs and wins, I'll let you know. It has never happened that I can remember. I'm not going to say it hasn't happened. I just don't remember it. So this was, to me, about as bad of a season as you will ever see a team have. And now if you're Tampa Bay, you're going into what I like to refer to as the dark times.
Yes.
You're killed over the cap. There's not a lot you can do to fix that. And your highest cap charge is for Tom Brady.
Yes.
Because it's a voidable year, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
No. Doesn't matter if he goes to play somewhere else. Doesn't matter if he goes home.
Doesn't matter if he comes back here.
Right.
It does not matter.
Right.
You are on the hook for this. So this team is going to get just absolutely gutted. And I don't see a way out of it for a long time. And this is a full 5-year rebuild.
Despite all the reports that were on social media earlier today, Byron Leftwich has not been fired. It could be coming at some point. I'm hoping
didn't say he's not going to. Just said he hasn't yet.
Right. Later on this week, Todd Bowles said today to the media that he is going to touch base with everybody and make decisions down the road later this week. So I don't know. I'm hoping that they both get the axe, but then a part of me also says, keep Todd Bowles.
Oh, yeah, because if you want to be bad, Todd Bowles is a great start. You want a number 1 pick in next year's draft? Todd Bowles. He can deliver that for you.
Yep. Caleb Williams, Drake May could be the futures of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just depending on how bad your team can be next year. It can all be yours for the low, low price of 2 wins.
And that might be nice.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Join us on the Wednesday edition tomorrow at 3 right here in the Ingles Studio. Don't forget, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, thesportsocracy.com. Click that live video link. Subscribe so you can join us in the chat as well, and we'll see you tomorrow.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Wet weather in our forecast and mild temperatures for most of this week across Asheville. The old subtropical jet stream coming all the way from the Pacific into the Carolinas. And looks like wet weather here for the next several days through Thursday. Then we catch a break Friday, Saturday. More rain early next week, Sunday and Monday. 41 degrees with light showers tonight. Mostly cloudy, mild Wednesday, 63. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Sweeten Creek Road southbound is stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road moving incident free. On Airport Road, no backups. Charlotte Highway, no delays. Tunnel Road problem free. Swannanoa River Road, no backups. Checking the drive time from Clyde to Canton by US 23 northbound. Drive time 8 minutes. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business